Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome to Frostpunk 2. Huge shout out to 11-Bit Studio for providing me early access so I can create some awesome content for you guys. I am incredibly excited. If you're incredibly excited, you can support the channel right away by subscribing, by liking the video, or leaving comments in the comment section. Now, I will say that this had a prologue that we're not going to watch. I'm going to get straight into the game because, well, you can see the prologue itself, the intro cinematic and whatnot, and then the prologue is just like a tutorial basically. So we're going to go straight into the Legacy of New London with week 1. We're going to start right from the beginning. I have played a decent bit into the game, probably about 150, 200 weeks or so, just to kind of get a feel on what we need to do. So I'm going to kind of treat this a little bit like a tutorial in a strange way, but not so in-depth that you're going to know absolutely everything as like an ultimate beginner's guide. But regardless of that, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hope you're excited. I am too. We survived the end of the world. Now what? I gotta say the graphics in this game are stellar. I absolutely love it, and it looks so good. The old captain is dead. New London is weak. Food is low. Overpopulation looms. Coal is running out. We've got a lot we need to do. People yearn for a future we're dreaming of, but is it the same future for all? Keep the city together. Or hold its hand on its deathbed. It's pretty drastic and dire, I'm not gonna lie. Chapter 1, Scraping the Barrel. So this game does have multiple chapters in it. Not sure how far we'll get into it. Hopefully you'll hang around for the entire thing. The captain is dead as he weakened growing divisions, brought city maintenance to a grinding halt. Now, New London is left to suffer the consequences. As steward, it's your charge to lead, but you must prove yourself. The overcrowded city is low on resources. Use this warmer year to build more shelter, secure coal, and power the generator back on. Let's get to work. So first, here we're going to take a look at the screen. If you haven't played the beta, or if you weren't able to see any videos, you didn't want to spoil it or anything, here is a basic rundown of everything that we have. So we now have an overall population, which is literally the population of New London at its core. We have the workforce. 60% of the population is able to work for now. We can modify that based on different laws and things that we can pass, a little bit like Frostpunk in the original, but on a much more macro scale rather than a micro scale. And then of course, if the workforce gets sick, we're going to have sick people here. Now what we have as a currency are what called heat stamps. You can see here we get 16 per week. We can use these to enact different things within the different people groups down here at the bottom. We use these to help pay for buildings and things of that nature. So it is kind of a lower income thing at the moment, but obviously as your population grows, you'll be able to move along and create more. We have prefabs. Now prefabs are obviously a prefabricated resource that you'll need in order to build buildings, to do things of that nature. The same kind of goes for cores. Cores are a lot more specialized. Much as they are rare in Frostpunk, they are rare resources in Frostpunk 2. We'll see how we can use them here in the future. Now, right here, we have our heat source. So this is much like it is in Frostpunk as well. Right now, we have 70 demand for heat, and we have to meet that. We can meet that through oil. We can meet that through coal. We can modify that through laws, etc. This is our coal is absent right now. We can stockpile 50,000 of it. And we'll hopefully get to stockpiling here in the future. We'll have to see. Much like heat demand, we have a shelter demand. All of these things are now demands rather than quantifiable things in a sense, basically. So we need a lot of shelter. We also need a lot of food. We currently have 35,000 food stockpiled. It'll last for 55 weeks. So we have 55 whole weeks to get through this to try and get a positive. We have our materials. Our materials, you'll see, are a resource sprinkled throughout our map that we have to build a resource to extract it from. We can then use those materials to make things like goods or other resources like prefabs. So keep in mind, we do want to have a high material increase, but you can see right now that it's full. It'll all work out in the future. Goods are a little more of a refined resource. They require an industrial district in order to manufacture. And you can see there that we have 50 available. We need 30 as a demand. We're going to rock on over here to guard squads. These are kind of law enabled, basically. They'll help reduce crime or at least keep it a little more contained. We have Frostland teams. Eventually, we'll be able to explore beyond New London, much like you do in regular Frostpunk, but again, on a much more macro scale. And then, obviously, tutorials. We have our current temperature, which we need to increase that real quick. Never mind, it looks like we're stuck with Celsius. I can only change that in the main menu, and I'm not about to go back and do it again. And then we can see, much like anything, we have our warmer seasons, our colder seasons, things of that nature. Down here on the bottom, or actually on the top, we have 5 sets of different things that will affect the tension of the city. So we have hunger. Currently it's absent, which is good. Disease is absent, which is also great. Cold is notable because we again have a lot of shelter we need to make. Squalor, this is dependent on your proximity of housing next to industrial or extraction districts. And then of course crime, significantly increased by goods scarcity. So we want to do that, but it is decreased by guard squads. Down here on the bottom, we do have a lot of things, and we're going to get rolling pretty darn quick. Frost break areas, we are going to work on this. When we bring up this, we can see where we can go and what we can do. So for instance, everything is a hex base now. So we are going to try and get to our coal deposits as much as we can. And then once you have completed your 8 hexes, you can hit break, and it will start breaking through the frost so we can build a district on there. And again, as you saw, we have a whole bunch of different resources, materials, food, we have coal. I think, oh yeah, that's right. We have our teams, which will allow us to get our Frostland teams. And we do have some extraction areas as well of things like prefabs. So it's a pretty cool thing. I enjoy that a lot. We do have the ability to construct some hubs. So you can see here, we have different hubs within districts. This allows us to construct our districts and then any specialty buildings, such as a council hall, research institute, other buildings that we may unlock in the near future. Next, we have our populations, our different communities that we have and factions. So right now we have the Frostlanders, which have their own unique sets of different goals and objectives and things that they want to fight for. So in this case, fighting against the cold is futile. Will not give in to hubris. The frost makes steel bitter. We will adapt, even if it requires sacrifice. We have the Stalwarts, which are currently have a big faction leading. Not as much as the Frostlanders, though. And then you have the New Londoners. So we only have 3 right now, but we will get more and more. This obviously is a good indicator of the tension. If it gets crazy, it'll start bubbling like mad, and it's really, really cool. And then the overall trust, as you can see here, we're neutral at the moment, and we want to try and get that higher so that way we can experience some good positives from it. Tradition, this is where our current city is leaning in terms of laws. Tradition, merit, and progress or adaptation are the 2 different sets, 3 different sets that kind of define our city based on what we are to do, and that will affect our relations with the different factions as well. And then last but not least, we obviously have our stuff over here. So we need to frost break and find a shallow coal seam. We're working on that right now. We need to turn on the generator. We need income for that. And we need to construct new housing districts to address the lack of shelters. So we're going to go here. We can see here that the construction of a housing district costs 200 workforce, 40 heat stamps, 200 prefabs, and it soaks up 200 workforce, increases demand, but the output is 20 shelter. So we would need to theoretically build 4 of these. However, we can't expand housing districts to accommodate more houses. Now, one of the other cool things is different districts will have synergies with other districts. So for instance, the housing district, if we were to be sheltered from the wind, we would see that, okay, cool, we get plus 20 heat generation. which is super duper helpful. So we're going to go ahead, pop that baby out here as well. And then we need a second one. So we're going to go ahead and be sheltered from the wind here as well. And then I'm going to actually pop up and go this way. We're almost done frost breaking through that. Sweet. Which means we now have access to this coal seam. And we're going to go ahead and rock it just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and frost break through this other coal seam. We need to be a little strategic in where we go for sure. Try and maximize the amount that we can frost break through. There's a little bit of a strategic puzzle-like element to this. And of course, we're not going to wait. We're going to let it go ahead and frost break all the way. There we go. Awesome. We are now producing 120 coal. Our demand is 130 though. So automatically we're still in the negative. Captain is dead. Coal is gone. The generator's off. We're doomed. We're not doomed. Because we can expand the district for one additional building slot. You can see we have an empty building slot there. And we could, for instance, go boom, boom, boom. And that is going to expand the amount of coal that we have available to us. There we go. You can see we now have a net positive. And so what we can do, we can go here and we can finally turn on our generator. Scraping the barrel. Good work, Steward. Good work. Excuse me. We have secured a new coal deposit. It's part of the last vein in New London. There are still some deposits left, but they won't last long. We'll need to improve our mining to use it efficiently, but the city's communities are voicing different ideas. We need to decide whose ideas are worth pursuing. Nice. All right, we need to expand a housing district, build a research institute, research a new idea, and construct the newly researched building in the extraction district. Sweet. So you can see here that we are still barely in the positive. We are starting to stockpile. I'm going to go ahead and build another extraction district. It looks like we're going to need more space, so that's fine. By the way, construction does consume things, but it's not too drastic that I feel it's unnecessary. We're going to use that to kind of get to our old way station here and hope that that helps. So what do we need to do? Expand a housing district. Much like we can do with the other one, we can do it here. Now, we already have shelter from the wind, but I do believe if I were to go over here, nope, it's the same. Cool. So if we were to build these districts right next to each other, you would see that we would actually get a bonus again to produce more heat. Now, we're not going to do that now. We could expand this in the future. So I think we probably will doing that. But for now, we'll be okay. There we go. And then we're already frost breaking through that. We need to build a research institute, which can only come from an expanded district, by the way. All right. The generator wakes, a child is born. People gather around the generator tower as it wakes with a thundering shudder and bestows heat on us yet again. This is the heart of the city, our last line of defense against the cold, our first hope for a future, any future. Steward, there's a couple who says their first child, a daughter, was born at the exact moment the generator sprang to life again. They call her Lily May. They ask that you bless her. You gave us hope back. Thanks to you, our child may yet have a future ahead. Very well, Lily May. May your light be warm and the winds spare your paths. Awesome. So what we need to do now, we need to go over here to our special buildings, build a research institute. Again, 400 workforce, 100 heat stamps, and 50 prefabs. It's quite a hefty task. No doubts about it. Can we expand? We can expand yet again. So we're going to go ahead and do that while we can. Boom, boom, boom. Sweet. And that should honestly put us into at least the positive, if not flatline even. So that's good. Sweet. A small crowd gathers outside the new research institute, arguing about how to exploit the last coal veins. The stalwarts and New Londoners want us to lean on machine-powered, but the Frostlanders would have us pursue a more frugal solution. They would never display such discord under the captain's rule. You have to choose who to trust. All right, so we're going to show our options. We need new ideas to move forward. However, different communities may propose diverging answers to the same issue. Choosing a community will improve your relations with that community. So this is one of the cool new features of the game that kind of adds a little bit of strategic layer to it all. We have 3 different communities, each with their own ideas. Sometimes they will align. Sometimes they won't. So if we were to do a dust coal mine, which is currently 43% of the city, you can see there it would be more of a workforce, but would increase the coal output. Now, disease is slightly increased in a 20 material demand, whereas the squalor is increased in a 60 material demand. So I'm not sure why we want to do blasting coal mine, when it definitely seems like the Frostlanders have a good idea on how that all works. Now, again, a little bit less of a workforce with these guys, but the dust coal mine would have a significant material demand, less material demand. We're going to go and roll with that one. A little bit more expensive in terms of workforce, but I think we'll be okay. All right, so you can see here we're at -10. We need to chill out for a little bit while everything gets researched. We could go ahead and work on a central hall. Yeah, let's go ahead and work on a council hall. A council hall will allow us to enact laws and things of that nature. The council gathers for the first time. We can vote on new laws. All right. Anticipation fills the air as the council opens. The captain ruled with a firm hand, but those times died with him. Now the communities of the city want their say. The stalwarts maintained order on behalf of the captain and adhered what they claimed was his vision, progress, merit, and reason. The New Londoners and Frostlanders clash over our survival strategy, though neither has a firm stance. Then there are those who view the stalwarts with contempt for their role in New London's history, but they keep to the shadows for now. All right, your first decision is we didn't handle the coal crisis. We're a little bit ahead. I didn't realize that. We're going to open the session anyways. And this is one of my favorite screens ever. It's such a cool indicator of Frostpunk and its just stance. Oh, I love it. All right, so when you return the council in the future, you'll be able to propose new laws. Yes. For now, a special vote needs to happen. The communities have to accept you as their leader. If you fail, end of your role. There and there. So this is a vote of confidence. So we need a vote of 51 out of 100 in order to make anything pass. And so right now, there's only 22 delegates that are guaranteed for. There are 13 that are guaranteed against. Now, I could simply vote right now, and the hesitance could swing it either way. I need 29 delegates to vote for me, and I don't think it's going to happen. Currently, I'm tolerated. We're not anywhere close. So what we're going to do, we're going to negotiate. And I think this would pretty much happen anyways. And so we can see of the factions that 45 New Londoners and Frostlanders would be willing to negotiate. 12 stalwarts would be willing to negotiate. So we're definitely going to rock with the larger factions. We're going to get with the New Londoners. We're going to vote for, which means they will be guaranteed to vote for the law in the next vote. And then we have to agree to a set of terms that we are okay with. So that would mean enacting the law of a new development effort, which could be done. Or we could research the building's mechanized sawmill. It's a massive sawmill loading frozen wood directly into mulching machines. Or we could say we will guarantee the research of automated logistics bays. So I think a sawmill, we do have frozen sawmill or frozen things. Can I get out of this? So for instance, if we were to look here, there's fertile soil. There's a deep frozen forest. Is this another frozen forest? Deep melting drill building. I'm just curious if we need to go after this or not. 100 million wood though. That is wild. Okay, well, let's go ahead, get out of that. Let's go to here. So we're going to negotiate New Londoners. I'm thinking we still need the drill thing. I think we're going to go with something we know we can do. So this will be the city development effort, which means main district produces a small amount of prefabs. We're going to say we're going to enact that. And so you can see now the 4 is 53. So we guaranteed had the vote of confidence. And then one of the coolest aspects of the game, I think, is the lighting of the lanterns to show off who is for and who is against.
The proposed law has been approved.
There we go. So that means we will have to vote for that law in the near future. And then also, I love the little insights into the people here. It's good to have you back, old chap. It's a terrible fright to have you switched off. You're more than just a heat source to us, you know? To us, you're a symbol of what we should be. Unbending, unyielding fortitude. May we all stand so bold against the frost. The generator is revered and respected by the stalwarts, which means we should be able to get some cool things going. All right, dust coal mine is being proposed by the Frostlanders. And we have 2 weeks until we need to be able to pass development effort. So we need to do that. We need to remember that that's available to us. All right, so if we were to go here, we could see now that we have an extraction of a dust coal mine. We have everything we need for it. The output is 150 additional coal. So we're going to go ahead and rock that, and that should put us well above. Sweet. A lack of common rules among our people can lead to trouble, but as the council debates the future of the city, all are concerned about the day our last coal deposit runs out. We must explore the Frostland for more sources of fuel, or else the city will have no future. All right, so we need to find more fuel. We need to build a logistics district, on an old way station and find a permanent source of fuel. Cool. So what we're going to do, I do notice that there are multiple way stations. And so do we have the ability to see the outside yet? We don't. That's fine. What we're going to do, we are going to start working on that. But I do want to start addressing things like our material surplus, which is going down steadily. We still need to address our food surplus, which is also going down steadily. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to creep on towards this place over here. Oh, I have to wait for that to be done. No worries there. We can actually, there's other things that we can do, such as start expanding out towards these boyos. So that way we have a good, healthy expansion area. We're going to go this way. Sweet. All right, food district. This is one of the cool things. We can expand this way. I'm going to go here. And then what we will be able to do is build a housing district, and look at that. Look at the advantage that we get. We get the double heat here. Oh yeah, absolutely perfect. There we go. Now you can see we have a positive. We actually have a surplus, which is going to help us a lot. Now this only cranked out very little food, which is fine. We can build and expand as necessary. We still need to do more frost breaking. Come on, can you get us there? Not quite. We'll get there in another set of frost breaking once that's done. All right, we have a colder season as well, which means our demand is going to be a lot more. That's okay. I get it. I get it. And then we're going to push out this way so we can get that waypoint. Now, what we really should need is another extraction thing, mainly for coal, because as you can see, we're about to hit another colder season, and we really need that, and it just popped up. We almost got that solution, but it's okay. It's not the biggest deal in the world. There we go. We'll be good there. And we can also pass city development effort. So if we go into here, you can see it's already laid out for us. This is community service. Right now, we have no common rules. We could do an expedition support. Expedition time is slightly decreased by aiding the expeditions. Everyone support the production of prefabs, producing a small amount of prefabs, or heat pipe watch. Heat demand is decreased, or service exemptions. And heat stamp income is slightly increased. We agreed that we would vote for this. And you can see we already have the support for it. The law has passed. Sweet. Relations with Newlanders improve, and the trust improves as well, which is all the things that we wanted to see. Cindy's pa went and got her governors, like she's going to be a duchess or something. Not on our watch. We roughed up the little person. All right. Ferguson's boys will learn this too. If they try and wife us again, we'll pull razors and say we cut out their eyes. It'll be good fun. But what we want is a proper rumble. Short blades only. Come on, who wants to play? All right. And this is a kid, 12 years old. The lack of law regulating childhood is causing tension to rise in the city. All right. Well, as you can see, crime is going to start oozing its way out. Disease is minor, but it is stable. So something to consider, something to think about as we move forward. We really need to keep our minds on that. We also need more food because we are very quickly running out of time. Let's see. I can't reach them. We can get one set. And then I think I could get a frost break, which would really help us. Awesome. We're in the positive with food, but we are majorly losing a ton of materials every single day. And then our goods are not doing great either. We're gonna have to figure that out pretty quick. Well, what we can do now is we can build our logistics, so that way we can get the old way station up and running, and then potentially find a permanent source of fuel. All right, feral children. Still 5 children are dead and dozens lay wounded after 2 large youth gangs met up for what they call a rumble, short blades only. Most of the children were armed with knives. The fighting escalated. As the parents of the deceased mourn, many insist these children should not have been left unattended. We're going to resolve the issue. Yeah, we're just going to wait for our next session and regulate childhood. And we could do that through various laws there. But as for us, we need 20 heat and 50 materials and a bigger workforce. All right, so we're actually out of workforce availability at the moment. So that sucks. We should be able to get some more in. Our population is rising steadily. Okay, good. Sweet. Logistic district has been built. We can survey the lands and find a source of fuel. Nice. I love this interface. It looks so good. All right, so it's telling us we need to go there, but let's look here. Makeshift shelters. Overpopulation and dwindling fuel reserves forced many residents of New London to take refuge in these temporary shelters built around a small hot spring. Its inhabitants wait for conditions to improve. We'll go and take them in. It's going to require 5 of our Frostland teams, but we get 2,600 New Londoners. All right, we're going to go and super fast forward. Sweet. Now we can go over to our Frozen Bay. Over 30 years ago, the Imperial Exploration Company landed here to build the region's generators. A few hastily dismantled piers still stick out of the ice, a faded reminder of their short-lived purpose. Oh, man. If you played any of the DLCs from Frostpunk before, you'll know that this is from the, something Autumn. This is where they were building them. That was such a good DLC. I loved everything about it. Threat level safe, possible findings, Frostland dwellers. Let's go ahead and launch it. 15 weeks, 16 days. All right, they're going to launch that. We're going to get back into the city. We have a ton of people here, but as you see, they consumed all of the shelter that we had, plus some. So what we're going to do, we're going to get some extraction. We're going to pull these guys so we can start extracting that prefab. And then we're also going to start working on our district here. Can I build another one, or should I frost break a few more areas? I think I should. Boom. All right, the new count has revealed significant growth in our population. Some attribute the rise to an influx of settlers, others to births outnumbering deaths. Whatever the cause, we've adjusted our calculations and we got 1,600 more people in the city. We've got a lot to work on. Let's go ahead and expand. Boom, boom, boom. It's not what we necessarily wanted, but that's okay. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead. Oh, we can't build another housing district because we need stamps. Oh, goodness gracious. Scarcity of goods drives people to acts of crime. Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and work on the childhood. So we currently have 2 options. We can have a family apprenticeship. All children must work alongside their relatives, or mandatory school, in which case research speed is increased, but the upkeep per capita is slightly decreased. I don't see that as a positive. Or I don't see that as a negative, but they see it as a negative. Yeah, we'll do family apprenticeship. Now, as you can see there, we still need to negotiate. The Frostlanders are willing to negotiate, but that still only puts us at 50 if they were to come into there. So once again, we're going to go with the Frostlanders or New Londoners. And then the community, the New Londoners get to choose the next law. That's super easy. Then if it gets downvoted, it's not my fault. It's theirs, basically. So let's go and rock with that. Nice. And it passed with flying colors. Once again, trust rises. That's exactly what we need to see. That's what we need to hope for. And you can see now we also have our surplus is running out. We need to expand, but it requires 50 heat stamps, of which we don't have. All right, infectious agents, the first crack. Stewart, during a routine medical examination, a small group of Frostlanders refused to be assessed. These checkups are relics of years past when a cough could endanger the city. That's gone now. We've adapted. No point continuing this invasion of privacy. Stalwarts maintain that regular physicals help ensure the safety of our workers. It's vital we monitor our citizens' health. We've had epidemics in the past. We can't allow another one. All right, so we could ban them. The subgroup of Frostlanders will support the decision, but we lose relations with New Londoners and Stalwarts, or the subgroup of Frostlanders will oppose and relations improve for the sake of safety. No one can afford to be bashful. No, we need to allow mandatory checkups 100%. And you can see right now that our relations with them are very favorable. That means they will pretty much vote for us if they can. everything that makes sense. The Frostlanders, they are still neutral with us. It's fine. We'll be okay. Oh wow, 128 weeks at the current rate of coal. Alrighty then, we should probably figure that out pretty darn quick. And we are going to figure it out pretty darn quick because we have our expedition is about to be ready. All right, cold has risen. People may die or suffer frostbite. Tension is high. I'm working on providing both of those. But we have our first expedition foray into the frozen bay, which looks terrifying. What do we have over here? Community of Frostlanders are eking out a pitiful living off moss and small fish. We're going to come back later. I can't handle them right now. In a cave near the bay, we found a disturbing sight. Bodies in sturdy Frostland gear laid neatly side by side and left to freeze, with black oil markings over their closed eyes. A ghastly burial ritual. A map we found suggests they were heading to an old machine somewhere by the desolate coast. A machine would require a source of fuel. We should investigate. Absolutely. Okay. The desolate coast. I mean, it's got oil right there in the darn graphic. It's got to be there. This looks like there might be another city. What about over here? There's the gorge. The foothills looks like another city. Mountains looks like we may get a good source of wood. We're going towards the desolate coast, though. We could find oil, prefabs, or cores. Oh, I see. Coal. Frostland dwellers, cores, prefabs. Ahaha. Much as we thought. Nothing guaranteed there. Yeah, no, we're definitely going here. Let's go ahead and launch that expedition. 17 weeks. Let's get to it. And then we have something here. All right. Stockpiles of food has run out. Okay. We are in a pickle and a half, my friends. We can expand. That won't necessarily solve everything, though, because we need to be able to move beyond that. And we do have... Okay, sweet. We have food extractors there, but again, heat stamps are our biggest holdback at the moment. And you can see we actually... the unmet demand for goods is causing a huge issue here. So what we're going to do is we are going to... Oh, my word. We have so many things we have to do to make this all work. All right, this district has fallen into disrepair. We are going to fix it because we need to extract everything we can. And then here, you can see we can make prefabs or we can make production of goods. So we're going to definitely do a production of goods. And what we could do, our trust is so high at the moment that we could pull some emergency shifts, I think. I don't know that that's necessarily worth it, but it might be just for the interim until we can figure out what else to do. So we are low on food now. Let's go ahead and build another food district, which does mean another housing district. But again, we can't really do that because, well, we don't have enough. Heat stamps. We're trying to balance everything we can, but man alive, we only have 20 prefabs per week. My word. For years, suggesting anything against the captain meant close scrutiny from stalwarts. But despite the BS looming from their bloody speakers, we managed to find our own way. Now we have a council. Council has inspired people to suggest new ideas. All right, we now have the Pilgrims as a neutral new voice. They form a resilient, spirited community held together by the bonds of tradition. They dislike city development effort. Well, that's fine. Their manifest is adaptation, equality, and tradition. Unlock deploy guides. Experienced pilgrims with deep knowledge of the frost will guide scout teams. Cool. Good relations perk scouts volunteers, which provides Frostland teams as well. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Frostlanders and New Londoners. Oh, we need to grant the agenda on the New Londoners. So we're going to do that. Trust will rise. What do we gain from them? We now have like almost the maximum, if not the maximum. In which case, we could ask them to raise some funds. We're going to do that, actually. That's fine. What do we do here? Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that with them. For these guys, I just wouldn't want to do that anyways. But we now have a lot of heat stamps, which is great. That's exactly what we need to make things work. We now need prefabs, which is something we're trying to work on. It's just not as easy as it seems. All right, we're losing people over here, so I'm actually going to decrease that. And what we can do is we can get a coal mine. Put that in there. We'll be good on that front. Did we expand these guys yet? We did. Great. All right, the desolate coast has been explored. Ooh. All right, this is obviously pretty important. A ruined machine lies across a crevasse. Wagons spilling into the nearby snow. There are clear signs here. People have come and gone from the site, even storing goods here. What amazed our scouts is the huge quantity of readily available oil. This could be the fuel source we've been searching for. We found oil. Nice. We build a new colony on the site. Here it is. You can't really see it that well. That's fine. All right, so what do we need to do then? We found oil. Build a new colony. Sweet. There we go. This is a close-up. Yeah, you can already see deposits of things. And of course, if you know anything and if you will play the game, you'll see that that's where the tutorial is. But we have an oil tomb. On the broken shore lies an old derelict dreadnought. It seems to have been upgraded to run on oil as it rests beside rich deposits. Perhaps the site was a refueling station? But deep in the black pools lies rows of frozen bodies wrapped in shrouds and placed into the still wells. Our scouts shudder at the sight. These oil deposits would surely solve our fuel needs, but we would have to desecrate these graves. We're doing it. No, we're just going to do it. More oil deposits will become available. Sweet. Oil will save the city, but we need to adapt our generator to use it. In the meantime, we'll establish a reliable supply. It's time we settled beyond New London. Create a colony at the old dreadnought and connect it with a solid trail to New London. Only then can supply be assured. All right, cool. Vote on New Londoners' proposed schedule. Council to vote. Okay, cool. So what we need to do is we need to connect the path. Requires 20 Frostland teams. We only have 15. 1 core and a trail connection to the city. So we can build the trail, but we can't colonize it yet. So we're going to go ahead and build that trail. I think that's definitely worth it. And that should, like, really excite people. We should be getting some good things from them. But we're going to go ahead. Again, we need to expand as much as possible. Boom. We need to extract as much material goods as we can because we have a huge demand. All right. Someone's worried about her son, looking for a culprit. Little Joey's been coughing all night. His forehead's hot as the generator. It's them Turners. They got that new flu, and here they are strolling about the neighborhood, carrying on with their business, killing people. The lack of a law regulating contagion prevention. Oh my word. We're in a pickle, aren't we? All right, mass-produced goods is now in force. They voted on it. There's nothing we could do about it. Sweet. Okay, that's fine. We're not concerned there. What I am concerned about is getting enough prefabs and a big enough workforce to be able to supply. Oh my word, we can't even build another housing district. 123 people froze to death. But we're about to experience a warmer season, so that should help. Yep. Trust does fall. Yep, I get it. You can see the tension is starting to be notable. We're hitting a little bit of a peak. Sweet. Okay. Hopefully the warmer season will allow people to not be so sick. You know what? We did have... There we go. We could take those Frostlanders in, and then we could also harvest those. Make that something that would happen. Cool. Okay, cool. We're in the positive with food. That helps a bit. We have no hunger, which has reduced the tensions by a decent bit as well. Alrighty then. Now we need more people. We need more housing as well. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get right around them. What do we have now? Sick neighborhoods, no common rules. This morning a house has been found walled off. The inhabitants escaped after a while, but they found that local shops and amenities refused to service them. Don't know who did it, but it's for the best, I tell you. And people got all sort of bugs. The place healthier without them, claimed a local pub owner. All right, we need to resolve the issues. All right, so that's going to be over here in city. Rule is going to be something we're not going to work on in this episode. Contagion prevention. If we did supported quarantine, contagion people would be placed in quarantine or infectious badge. Tension is slightly increased. Disease is decreased. This disease is significantly decreased. So we're going to do that. We're going to negotiate. The Pilgrims won't negotiate because they're upset about it anyways. We're going to rock with the Frostlanders this time. They do have a huge population. Durable goods. In order to make the best of scarce resources, we'll focus on producing sturdy and easily repairable goods. That sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. That's fine. All right, we're going to vote for it. We'll get 50 guaranteed. And then surely some of the neutral. Awesome. I knew it would pass.
The eyes have it.
Very nice. All right, we need to pass durable goods, so we need to look into that. And then we also haven't really researched anything from the idea tree since we've got it. So let's go ahead and go into housing insulation. Base heat demand is decreased. Asbestos lining. Oh no, not asbestos. It seems like everyone wants it though. So we're going to research that idea. Oh shoot, asbestos.
Attention.
Oh, that's actually great. I love it.
New law is in effect.
All right, we're going to work on that. We're going to expand our... Is this our food? I want to expand our housing. There we go. That works. And then what else can we do here? We do have our hubs. We have a heating hubs. The heat demand in neighboring districts is decreased. We have fuel hub, which increases the stockpile. Workforce demand in neighboring extraction districts is decreased. That's actually really kind of nice. That's actually really nice. If we could figure out where to join that. So for instance, if we expanded, there's only 33 weeks in that prefab. If we expanded into here, and then I built that, we could have a workforce decrease there, which would be really nice. What are the other hubs that we got? Food stockpile, neighboring food districts, neighboring industrial. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. We're going to build that right there. That's a lot of heat demand that we can reduce. Right, deposits are running low. Some of the coal deposits will soon run out. They believe they can use explosives to access deeper veins. They say we should send children for missed ore in the tighter tunnels. Some kids did this, some did this as kids themselves, and they survived unscathed. If we lay explosives, all available coal will increase by 10%. If we recruit child volunteers, yeah, we've already screwed over the Frostlanders and the Pilgrims enough. We're going to lay explosives. Of course, that's probably not going to end well. I get it, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Awesome. We put that district in, and we got an increase of like 60. So that's awesome. That's great. Okay, we still need to build more, but man alive, we're still so limited on what we can do here. I can't hardly even build frost breaking. We just need a lot more prefabs, and I think we actually have prefab extraction. That's a shallow iron vein. Does that mean we could build an extractor on it and be fine? I'm unsure. I really want to kind of bring it out there and test it though. Nope. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, I'm a dingleberry. Okay. Sweet. Asbestos lining, new passive boost to the Frostlanders, which is exactly what we needed. So unfortunately, I do have to continue working on that. But the positive is I can at least hit the other way station as a result. 140 people froze to death. That's not good. But the good news is we now have access to prefabs that has 2.4 million as its supply. So we're not going to be having to worry about that for a good long while now. Boom. Near housing districts. Okay, yep, the fire's broken out in our coal mine. If we don't react, we'll lose the mine. Some of the stalwarts engaged in the rescue effort insist we still save the mine by cutting off the air supply to the shaft to suffocate the flames. But some miners are still making their way out. No, we got to block off the air supply. I'm sorry.
Will be held this
Yep.
evening in
I
the
appreciate the sacrifice more than you know. Okay, cool. So housing insulation worked. What other housing things do we have? Oh, there's so many things we can do. That's right. We have so many different areas that we can do this. Housing block. This is what we need. No one else shares this idea. Subsidized housing block. Residence tower providing functional shelter. Oh man, no one agrees. But they agree. You goofballs. Dense housing block. Disease is slightly increased. I don't know that I want to do that. Heat stamp upkeep. See, the thing is, like, this is one heat stamp upkeep which is a lot. Admittedly, we're not getting a ton of heat stamps in, but it provides the best number of shelters. So we're going to go ahead and research that idea. We're going to rock with it. We're also going to go ahead and pass another law. Looks like we need mass goods. We're going to go ahead and do durable goods. We're going to propose it. We're going to go ahead and vote for it and see if it works. We're really, really close here. Nice, just barely passed. Trust with the Frostlanders improves and trust rises overall, which is great. That's awesome, fantastic. We need to build another logistics anyways. Look at that. Fantastic. Our output's going to increase and we'll be good there. Now what we could do, oh man, that's going to be great. We now have a positive of material supplies. And what we're going to need to do now as a result is we are going to need an industrial district that is going to require us to work on prefabs because we really, really need our prefabs to go up. We only have 14 weeks and 210 prefabs going on there. So I'm glad we rocked that. We now have 115 supplies, which is also great. Well, what do we have here? Yep, father was a miner. Yep, we saved the coal mine. It sucks. I know, I get it. I don't want to deal with it right now. I understand. You've no idea. I get it. Okay, so we still don't have a ton of coal. What we need to do is we need to go over to here. We need a core Frostland teams and 100 prefabs. Here we go. Among the debris in a mangled cart, we found an old navigation log. We can't wander forever. If we only get through this canyon, we can set up a permanent base next to the oil. Cart holds a large number of cores. That's what we need. Okay, we're going to do that. What about this? A tanker filled with oil hangs in a narrow crevice. It'll be dangerous to extract it. Okay, we can't do anything there, which is fine. This requires too many teams, which we're not working on just yet. Okay, cool. That's going to be great. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Frostpunk 2. In our first episode, we established the city of New London. We got everything up and running, and for the most part, things are relatively calm. We have very little to no tension. Actually, it's absent. But we do have a little bit of crime. We're cold because we need some people. And then we have a little bit of disease, but it is diminishing. Now, we discovered oil. Now, all we have to do is build up enough cores, enough whatever they're called, Frostland teams, excuse me, and enough prefabs to be able to establish a colony on it, which does mean we are going to experience two, or at least multiple, potentially several multiple cities all at once. So if you're excited about this episode, just like I am, be sure to support the channel by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, of course, leaving your comments in the comments section down below, anything that would engage you and thus the YouTube algorithm. So let's dive right on into it. We are researching the idea for a subsidized housing block, which would allow us to then fill our empty slots with all the things. Yeah, we don't want to do that in order to fulfill our shelter demand. And as you can see here, we have a lot of food surplus and a lot of materials surplus that we can use to make some more industrial districts. Now, one of the things that I changed, let me know what you think about this, by the way. There is a dark overlay that I forgot existed, and I think it actually looks pretty darn cool. But let me know what you think, and I'll switch it back maybe once I see it. I'm recording multiple episodes since I'll be gone away at TwitchCon at the point when I'm able to put these all out in subsequent areas. So, oh sweet, we got our cores from sending our team. Fantastic. All right, we need another team desperately, but we need 400 workforce in order to get there. So let's see if there's anything out here in a boot here. Nothing there. Cool. Let's see. Another one there. The Highlands possibly have some, but it requires 20 people to go explore it. I think all of these do. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and launch that expedition there under Jasper Cox. Thank you, Jasper Cox, for your bravery into the unknown. And yeah, we basically just need people. So there's not a lot that I can do at the moment. Hubs only cost a very limited amount. The kicker is that there's a lot of coal available to us, right? But if we were to get up to that 50,000, we literally waste the resources, which is not something I agree with. I think it should stop. I think it should stop before it gets to that point. But regardless, we're at the point now where we need to Increase gives us a stockpile capacity for everything, and then demand and extraction districts is decreased. Let's just go ahead and put it there. I don't think we're going to be able to optimize, but I want to be able to increase the amount of what I'm able to store. Sweet. Now we have subsidized housing block, new building proposed, which means here we go. 100 or 50 workforce, 100 heat stamps, and 50 prefabs. So if we were to build that here, right now we need to just push as hard as we can. Okay, cool. We're out of workforce. Cool. All right, what do we have here? Spinning dog hair in a yarn. Ouch, my finger. These spindles. Mrs. Boss Lady keeps joking if I'll fall asleep and get woken by a prince. I don't get it. If a prince came near me, I'd rob him blind and make him do bloody spinning. But it's all right. Gonna beat my record today. Nice, strong yarn. Auntie Mabel says if I can weave, I can work with her at the mill. Beats freezing in the streets. Family apprentice promises a better future for the children of the city. Sweet. That should increase the trust, in my opinion, but that's okay. We will get it figured out. Okay, we're almost there. Sweet. We now have a surplus in that area. Steward, there are complaints about our quarantine policy. Forced separation from loved ones is difficult. It's especially hard for parents whose children are quarantined alone. One such mother comes to the quarantine facility every day, asking to be allowed in. He's deathly afraid of being alone, can't cope without me. The pilgrims are such a minor people right now. Seriously, there's only 638 members, where there's like 5,000 plus for the other people. So we're not going to worry about that. I get it. It's tough, but the needs of the city trump everything else. You know what? I actually don't like the dark UI entirely much. Let's switch back real quick. Yeah, I like this better. There's a lot more stuff you can see. Yeah, that's a little hard to read, but I think it's fine. All right. The longing of a little heart. Stuart, the young boy whose mother knocks on the gates, is faring very badly. Our doctors can't fully explain why he doesn't respond. Child may fully never recover. I understand. I get it. But like, no, we're not going to risk spreading disease and reducing our already strapped workforce. It's just not going to happen. All right, what's cool though here is that we can destroy this, which means we get our workforce back. We get heat stamps and prefabs back as well. We're going to switch that straight over into an industrial district, especially once it gets removed, because we desperately need that. We also have prefabs here that I actually didn't even notice. I'm sure there's the possibility that several of y'all were screaming at me, which is understandable. And we just got more people living with us. Okay, cool. Nope, we can deal with that. We can actually utilize that a lot. So we're going to rock and roll. And then I am going to go ahead and build another industrial district. We're going to build it right here, trying to take advantage of the heat as best we can. Oh, nice. We get both of it. Sweet. That works for us. And then we're going to utilize that. Oh, come on. I need more prefabs. We need to build another way station so we can get enough teams to do all the things. 90 years old, 90 summers, well, winters. I've had a good life. Well, I've had a life. Not everyone in the old Queen Hythe crew can say the same. I've always thought I'd be sharing the Lily's grave, my Liddy's grave, but now Pete's pressuring me to donate my body to the city. Apparently, them doctors are using dead folks' skin to fix up frostbite. Can't they leave me alone? Haven't I been through enough? Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a look at survival. No, the city. Society, there we go. So right now, we could do harvesting funerals. Research speed is increased. Disease is slightly decreased. The likelihood that people in the city will get sick, increasing as their bodies are worn down. Okay. Or trust loss resulting from deaths is decreased. More people actually want to go for that, and it's supported by the stalwarts as well. So we're going to negotiate. The New Londoners are open to negotiate. The stalwarts, they won't. They want this, so they're not going to do that. The pilgrims won't because, well, it's against their worldview. So what we're going to do, we're going to open it up to the New Londoners. And then what do we need to do in advanced? So machine-centric shifts, put pressure, less pressure on workers. Workplaces may keep machine-powered stuff. A mechanized sawmill, we'll go ahead and do that. That's fine. We're going to do that in the future anyways, I think. So let's go ahead and vote for it. Very nice. Pass with flying colors. I just love this screenshot. I love it so much. And now we have to research it. So I freaking hope I can able to do that. Sawmills, cool. We can. Let's go ahead and do that. We said we would do mechanized sawmill. I have to do it for a certain person. Promise to the New Londoners. So I don't know if it matters, but we're going to do it for the New Londoners. I don't know if it matters if we do that there. I think everyone agrees, so it's fine. We're going to go and research the idea, though, so that way we're done with it entirely. Okay, so now we can go here. We can expand this as well. We're not going to do this because we could increase the squalor. And I don't want to worry about squalor. It's not worth the heat reduction. And then this, we're making 15 a week. We could expand that. It would require me to expand the city a little bit. Is there anything over here? I think it's just the edge of the map. There we go. That works for me. Ah, dadgummit, I keep on getting not enough prefabs. It's killing me. Nice. We did that. The demands were met. Their trust has improved. Now, remember, we really kind of ruined the trust because we went ahead and we did... Oh, I see. That was a half. Okay, I'm a bit of a dingleberry. Didn't realize that's what that all was for, but that's all good. All right, cool. 100 heat stamps and prefabs. We'll get there in just a second. Sweet. All right, now what do we have over here? Stalwarts suggest action. Steward, we're struggling with heat stamps. They come forward with an idea. We should pass mass-produced goods, pursue it, and the city will benefit. The stalwarts look at distrust with other communities proposed. They would surely appreciate you getting behind them. I don't know. Oh, I have to. Oh, I don't know that mass-produced goods is what we want. Let me look and see, because I think we already have. Okay, cool. We don't. Oh, that's the only option we have. Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll vote for it. It's already got 45 as a base, so 51 shouldn't be hard. Piece of cake, really easy to do. Overall, not a big deal. And now we also have enough people here to do all the things. We need 100 prefabs in order to make the other things work. Nice. All right, cool. So we're in the positive for everything but goods. We should probably work on that. Steward, the Frostlanders are furious that the durable goods law is no longer in force. Oh, I totally was just, I need to slow it down. I need to slow it down. No, we're just going to ignore for now. Sorry. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. What can we do to... We'll grant them an agenda. That'll be what they can do. They choose the law, and if it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass. It's not our problem. But for now, what we need to do is we need to wait until we have the prefabs ready, and then we can move onwards. Yeah, we need to roll it quick because we only have 26 weeks there. We only have 7 weeks remaining there, and I don't think we have any more coal deposits. We have no more coal deposits, so we need to really desperately work because I don't have enough here to handle it. All right, we have the ability to build our colony. We're going to send the colonists. 3,000 colonists will settle there. Awesome. All right, so they want to work on community service expedition support. We're going to go ahead and put it to the vote. I'm not going to worry about it. Oh, it barely passed, but it still passed nonetheless. Sweet. Now, they did explore this area, so I'm assuming we could probably gather people. An old coal hauling crawler, half buried in snow. It appears the transport's device was tampered with. Graffiti has been etched, New London leeches. Regardless of what happens, the coals are for the taking. Yeah, that's fine. That'll actually help us quite a bit. It give us a bit of a reserve to work on. Sweet. Stuart, father has come to our offices with his son. They both ask you to hear them out. Boy is not cut out for a blacksmith. His knack is for words, poetry. I can bend steel, but he can stir souls. Please let him be apprenticed under someone who can teach him to use his talents. Their plea echoes the sentiment that family apprenticeship limits the prospects. That's fine. A willing mentor shouldn't be forced into an apprenticeship. That's, yeah, okay, it's fine. We'll still get people. There we go. Yeah, we still got people, so we're good. We're totally fine. Not gonna worry about it. What do we have here? What's up with this? Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and reduce that there. I don't know what that housing symbol means. Oh, it's probably that there's not enough people, perhaps? I'm not sure. But regardless, these guys are going to bring in a good lump of coal. Sweet. But we're at minus 420 now because it is colder. It's hecking cold. And there's not much that we can do about it. But if we were to go over here and check out the hubs, there's so many hubs. Node connecting districts through elevated railways, efficiency in neighboring extraction industrial or food resources, emergency medical hub, air transport hub, workforce decrease and workforce requirement in neighboring districts is just decreased straight up. Materials demand is decreased. Crime in neighborhood is decreased. Tension is decreased. There's a lot of really great things we have here. Hospitals, youth. Liberated youth, young adults are encouraged to experiment. Percentage of active workers is increased. No one else can do things. That's really cool, actually. We have hospitals. That's really cool. There's so much we can do here. Now, I don't necessarily have the funds, I don't think. I do, but it's not massive. We went skyways. Unlock skyway connections which can be built in the Frostland to allow transport of more resources from colonies and outposts. Harvester hangars. Speed up food extraction. This just straight up gives a boost to team outputs. And a scout's headquarters. Exploration time and territory threat levels decreased. That's actually all really, really good. But what do we need? What do we need the most? Filtration towers. What do those do? Significantly decreased. We don't have an issue with those. Oh, we could get really good food output. We could get a lot of demand out of those. We don't need any more coal from now anyways. Material output. No, we already have the hub for the mechanized sawmill. But we don't really need it right now, so I'm not going to do it. And that would increase our heat demand. So that's not going to be good for us. How long will this last? Spending will last for 15 weeks. That's not good. That's not good at all. Are they here yet? They're not here. Construction time is 15 weeks. Okay. The old dreadnought has a population of 3,000. And it looks like we have to start over as well. What is this? Oh, all right. Steward, everyone in New London is awaiting the moment we got a steady supply of oil. So many fears would vanish, so many dreams made possible. But those dreams seem to be diverging. Stalwarts paint visions of an eternally warm New London, as warm as only the eldest among us remember. But pilgrims want to use the newfound power to reach out and settle remote places on the Frostland. All right, they're going to think about how we use the oil. But here it is nonetheless. So if you play the prologue, you'll know that this is where we need to be in the prologue to make things work. And so what we need to do is we need to get the generator up and running, which does require us to go after some oil. So we need to do everything we can with the materials that we have. We do have a good starting point, but you'll all notice that, oh, we don't need to worry about food. I think we're going to need to worry about food, but I'm not quite sure how we'll get to it. We don't need housing, oh no, we do need housing. Kidding. There we go. But I'm also going to frost break into this direction. So what we need to do is we need extraction here. We need to go ahead and build a housing district. And then do we need to frost break even more? We probably do. But in which direction is the biggest thing? Is there anything down here? There's nothing down here. So let's go ahead and frost break into this area. Right like that. We got a population increase over in New London. Sweet, we have 60 oil. We're going to turn on the generator. And you can see that that oil goes further than anything else. Sweet, 13,000 weeks remaining. It's a lot of weeks, my friend. That is a lot of weeks. And then we are going to go ahead and get an extractor here with an expansion. Okay, sweet. So how do we get... We have that. Let's go over to New London. This is a really weird angle. Okay, cool. Right there. All right. So we have very, very little coal and anything left. What do we got over here? Food, hot food in exchange for nothing. They could have just ignored me. Discarded me. I would have understood. Instead, they fed me, clothed me, smiled at me like I'm a person. Never thought I'd see the day when my city would provide for someone like me. Okay, I'll give back. That's cool. I like that a lot. So the real question is, what do we need to do here? Do we need to exploit more so we can get more oil? I'm confused on how we transfer. Maybe we can go out to here. Nope, nope. I don't want any of that. I don't want to have anything to do with any of that. No. Okay, I think what we need to do is just figure out an expansion idea. They're going to get prefabs, which is great. Let's get into... I don't want charcoal plants. I need oil extraction. There's fuel. So do I need to get into worker shifts? Weather adjusted shifts, machine centric shifts. Let's go with machine centric for now. That should help us. And then what do we need here? Workforce and heat stamps. Okay, well, I can't reach down there for oil, but I also can't reach out here for oil either. Almost, but just not quite. And so I could sacrifice. Our last mine is run dry. Oh no. We need to find a long-term solution fast. Yes, we do. That is correct. But my question is, how do we transfer? It's not telling me how we transfer. We could build a subsidized housing block there. That's hilarious. We're not going to do that though. I have to figure out how to get oil over there. Okay, I need 600 workforce for an extraction. But the kicker is that we have no materials and everything else is scarce. What do we have here? Back from the city store. Let's see. Bar of soap. Smells like poo. Hemp undervest. Itchy. Sucks I couldn't get any socks. Ran out of allocation. Bollocks. What's the point of being a foreman if I get the same allocation? Basic necessities is causing tension. I think we'll be okay. But the kicker is that we're not okay because we have nothing pumping on the generator. There's only 5 prefabs remaining. No, we're just going to go ahead and demolish it. I'm not going to repair that for the lack of prefabs. And then, yeah, we desperately need to figure that out. Okay, cool. Old Dreadnought. Let's figure you out. I don't know how to get you to do more. We may have to decrease this. Decrease it for now. Will get us enough people where we can then extract this, which should give us a big boost. What are we voting on? Worker shifts, machine-centric shifts. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That's going to pass. Nice. That should help us a whole heckin' lot. My kicker. What's up? Send resources to New London. Yeah, that's fine. What are we doing? I need to be able to... I don't know how to extract. All right, yeah, we'll resolve the issue. Yep, that's fine. But what I need to be able to do is find a way to get these... get this oil. Multiple pods of whales froze here after being pursued by humanity's last whaling vessels into the freezing harbor. Scouts are amazed at the massive bodies made pale by the ice. I found my white whale, Scout Commander jokes. No one laughs. Years ago, the captain sent a team with machines to bore through the ice and mine out the whale meat. We can take the machines back to New London to a 6 extraction or put a new team. This is just straight up percentage change to resource output. Just straight up. Or build a food outpost. I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm trying to figure out how in the heck we're gonna be able to get oil to these things. Okay, so if we click on this, here we go. I had to look at it. Resource transfer. Right now we only have the availability to send 45, which is fine. That should still help. We can send a good number of resources here. Be able to cap that. And then we should be good there. Let's transfer those resources. Right now we're only doing 40 out of 75, which is fine. But what does that look like over in here? How low are we still? We're still massively low. So we are going to have to discover, mountain stuff. Like we got to go get all those things. We got to get more coal. We've got to do something because I can't do it all. We need to send people. How many people do we have here? We have 3,700 people. Let's go ahead and transfer people. We're going to send a lot of people over to, we'll send 1,900 to relocate. But we can ice break over here, correct? Yep, we have enough heat stamps. We need to be able to get down to this stuff. We do have a couple of prefabs. We have to remember we can get down there. We're going to do that there. We don't have enough workforce. We'll get them. Sweet, our workforce is here, but we do have a massive decrease in food, which is fine. We'll figure it out. I'm more concerned about being able to get this right there. And then we're going to extract some prefabs. Is that all that we really have here? And there's really not even a lot. Yeah, we're getting a lot of people freezing to death, which is why I'm kind of in a hustle and bustle to get this done. Now we're about to hit a positive. There we go. Warmer season's going to help, but it's still not enough. Let's get that rocking and rolling. Oh, we have tons of people freezing to death. Okay, hold on. Let's get over here. Saying to herself, I can see it's a little blurry. Told me I'm going to keep improving. Harvesting funerals given a second chance. Nice. I asked those whose cornea I owe my new sight. A young lad fell from a rooftop. Probably had a whole family to feed. When they release me, first thing I'll do is go and see them. I'll take some rations. Yeah, we're in a pickle. We're in a big, giant, frickin' pickle is what we are. We need to transfer as much resources as possible. Transfer those resources. Anticipation fills the air as the first transport of oil is sent. Dream of a future without feeling cold. To make it happen, we need to modify the generator to turn this black gold into heat. This will be irreversible. What future we build for ourselves will depend on it. How do we do that? Oh boy. Chapter 2. Ambitions. People cheer as oil reaches the city, but the question of what it means for our future remains. The years of suffering are coming to an end. Let us improve the generator further and pump oil until the snows of the city melt forever. However, the pilgrims disagree. What stalwarts want is hubris. New London won't last forever. The frost is our reality. We have to embrace it. Venture forth, use the oil to settle new homes in the white beyond. Stalwarts would approve if we go after we will defeat the frost. Unlocks oil pumps, generator upgrade that uses only oil, unlocks ability to exploit unlimited deep deposits. Or we can embrace the frost. Adaptive pump that use any fuel, unlocks unlimited output frostland settlements. Unlimited output frostland settlements or unlimited deep deposits. We know for sure that there are coal mines elsewhere. I don't know why we would need to use them if we have unlimited deep deposits and it only uses oil. Hybrid is awesome. I mean, the oil deposits are like 15,000 weeks, so I don't know how far we would get there in that instance anyways. Unlimited output frostland settlements. I have to go. Yep, we're gonna do it. First, need to upgrade the generator with oil pumps to use the new fuel. Research and further upgrade the generator with surplus injectors to make New Londoners warmer than ever. Oil pump generator upgrade is unlocked and available to be built. Melting deep deposits and generator upgrade research are unlocked. All right, tension is stupidly high. We are going to go with free essential trust rises. We don't need to worry about trust. I think we need to do paid. We're going to negotiate. We'll negotiate with the Frostlanders. Hydraulic pump jack. Facility injecting high pressure water in the ground to speed up oil extraction, causing minor impurities to seep into the drinking water. Let's go with a bio-waste hothouse. Yeah, let's go and do that. That's fine. Let's vote for it. The tension is intense right now, and you can tell by that voting there. That's wild. I love it, though. All right, we need to construct generator oil pumps in the central district. That's going to be under our hubs. Build prisons to use roundup militants. Oh no, the growing fervor of certain groups has become a cause for alarm. Build enough prison space our guards could place such militants in preventative arrest. No, we're okay. We just got to make it through. Okay. Okay. Oh, we did it, guys. Oh, we're okay. Tension should drastically decrease now. It should no longer be catastrophic. Research and construct generator surplus injectors. That's going to be over in heating. Generator upgrade 1. We're going to research the idea for 100 buckaroonies. Advanced delivery mechanisms. Heat surplus generator, which burns all excess fuel to increase output of all districts by up to 15%. Okay. That should solve the problem. The thing is, over in here, is that we don't have the capabilities to do much. We need to expand our housing district, which means we are now going to need to expand that way. We need prefab production, which is going on there. We're not going to do a research institute, none of that stuff. Whew. All right, I think we're okay. It's not the best. We could definitely meet the demand there. Over trails capacity. Okay. Okay. Oh, snap. That's really cool. We can just automatically send the stockpile supplies, which means we do need, well, that's really loud in my ears. We need a hub. A fuel stockpile hub would be perfect right there. Sweet. That increases by a lot. And if we were to go over now to New London, we have quite a large stockpile supply. Stockpile full. Well, so that means in theory we should be able to, we don't want to allocate that. We're going to meet the demand there. We're going to transfer those resources. And it's already full, which means we need to build another material stockpile. Yes. There we go. And we do have a rather large food stockpile that we need to expand into, which is totally fine. And in fact, we can't build another food district because we need more prefabs. Well, we can totally build another industrial district, am I right? Should be able to build an industrial district, and that might be better there. Now the tension should start decreasing. Severe cold is diminishing. We should be okay. Steward, now that we're charging for essentials, some unemployed families are unable to afford basic necessities. We're going to let them fend for themselves. Nope, we're going to let them fend for themselves. And I mean, there's only 300 technically unemployed people. So we're not going to be concerned about it. We have more than enough supplies there. Dust coal mine, a mechanized sawmill. Yeah, we'll go and do that. Just have some fun. All right, and then we are going to work on prefab production here instead. We now have a food, we're not at a surplus, but we're at the even, which is great. And then we're at plus 40% oil. Sweet, okay, we're actually kind of leveling out all right. Over here, though, they're freezing. They're freezing to death, quite literally. So let's go ahead and build some more housing. We need food. The real question is, can I transfer food? I can transfer a few, which at least lessens things a bit. Skyways. Skyways are used to transport significant amounts of resources across the Frostland. Linking an outpost using skyways increases its resource output. Establishing a skyway connection also improves shipping capacities of resource transfer. Bonuses only apply if entire connection from one location is entirely used by skyways. Okay, I'd have to research that, but that's definitely something worth looking into. All right, we went towards the battered foothills. A jettisoned secondary engine of a dreadnought. Under its hull, we found a core, unreproducible component from before the frost used to power our most advanced technology. No, we can definitely dismantle that. An old observatory often attracts outcasts and scavengers who would rather live together in cold isolation than follow the laws of New London. Settlement has been in decline since the collapse of the observation tower. Some may be willing to reconsider their situation. I will come back later. An abandoned coal mine, a mining complex inhabited by children a long time ago. This was from the first Frostpunk, if I remember correctly. Over the years, they grew older, became citizens. The last miners were ordered home by the captain, but we know some coal remains. The approach trail is in poor condition. We found a warehouse with prefabs the captain intended to use to improve it. We could take them or leave them in place. We could get 300 prefabs. Using the mine will take fewer Frostland teams. We're going to take it because we can't use it. The mining complex once inhabited. Oh, that's right. An outpost here could increase our supply by 250 coal until its deposit is depleted. We don't need to complete the trails. High Pass is dangerous. The Gorge is also dangerous. Let's see. Adaptation's the only way to live. We'll convince them all. That's fine. We have 15 teams. We need 20 just to make things work. Resource deposit's nearly depleted. That's just the prefabs. We don't need to worry about that at all, in my opinion. Alrighty then. We almost have enough people here, which means we would be good enough. We're not going to worry about squalor, so I need to be able to push into new boundaries. I'm actually not sure how far we take this, to be honest. Maybe if we convince people to come by Once we have the other extraction things, maybe that's why you would want to have tons more housing here. I'm really not sure. Hopefully I'm making the right choice here is my thing. Well, regardless, we have a lot of people. All right, and we are extracting more than what we have available to us. So there is that. Over New London, though, we're at plus 40. Okay. Generator surplus injectors, which is going to be here at Central. We need 4 cores and 300 heat stamps. Okay, cool. Pret et prosthetics, mass-produced goods. Stuart, a young engineer, brought us novel designs to mass-create prosthetics with minimum amount of resources. Manufactured in standard sizes, they would allow maimed workers to get back in the saddle in no time. Sure, won't be the sturdiest, but the cost practically nothing. If one breaks, folk will quickly get another one. Increases the percentage of active workers, but increases material demands. We're okay. We're definitely okay to do that. More amputees return to work. That's fantastic. We just need a place for them all to do stuff. And then these guys are really intense. Let's build some trust. We'll grant them an agenda. That might help them a little bit. What are they setting? Heat pipe watch. Heat demand is decreased. Yeah, let's go ahead and vote for it. Let's see what happens. It's going to be pretty close. I don't know that they have the vote confidence to be able to get in. Oh, they just barely got it. I love it, though. All right, cool. Well, that actually helps us. I'm way too hasty. Way too hasty, for sure. Okay, we need 4 prefab, or we need 4 cores. There's lots of stuff we got to tackle all at once here, isn't there? We need more durable access into this area. Sweet. What else is there to dive into? We've got a lot of... We don't have a lot left, actually, in all. Let's not waste the prefabs and all of that stuff. We could build another industrial sector, though. Get our goods production to where it's in the positive. That would be the best thing, I think. Oh, very nice. Deep melting drill. Installation using heat from the oil powder generators. This is what we need desperately in order to access, what is it? Yes, look at that. 100 million food. And then we have a deep one here, 100 million frozen forest. And there's actually 2 100 million frozen forests. So that would actually be the best thing for us. Right now, though, it looks like crime is something that is happening quite a bit. We need to keep our eye on that, but we need to go back to the Frostland as well. We need to start digging deeper, research and construct generators. We don't necessarily need the oil stockpile right now. We're going to go into the Highlands, see if there's anything there. And then while we're at it, changing your broken prosthetic hand. Geez, that's the second one this month. Thank goodness I always carry a spare. 3 more at home. The new Grossmith design's a bit flimsy, but at least we no longer have to worry about prosthetic supply. Whole city could lose a hand. We'd have some to spare. Stuart. Some researchers and doctors have petitioned us to preserve the remains of corpses that have been harvested. Science knows no bounds. Incinerating harvested bodies, returning the ashes is waste of potential. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. The trust, I need to build the trust up. And I can't do that. I can't do that. I just can't. Can we build... Oh, that's right. We need more cores. All right. So I worked very hard, mind you, to try and get access to this unlimited supply of 200 million food. However, when I go, the deep melting drill takes a core. We don't want to use a core for this. So we're not going to use a core for this. What we're going to do is we're not going to do that at all. We're going to see what happened over here in our... what is this? Hag Hills. We have an abandoned lazaret, hastily built in the 1901 plague. These buildings were used to quarantine infected New Londoners. They now lie silent and forgotten. 300 prefabs will come back later. Some will be angered by our... Okay, we don't want to anger anyone now. Scouts have met the wise woman for which these hills are famed. Some are in fact New Londoners who left during the captain's first days. They'd be pleased to return now that we have a council. However, Some of the most loyal followers consider these women traitors and think that they should remain in exile. Come back later. An abandoned research station. Our scouts found a circle of frozen naked bodies lying around a strange idol made of ice. Nearby sat a pile of stalwart uniforms. Station's fallen into disrepair. We could salvage it for prefabs, but the stalwarts prefer we destroy and redact it from the official records. Plus 300 prefabs would be really good. We're going to come back later because none of those are things that I want to deal with at the moment. What I need are cores. I need cores desperately. We're going to go into the mountains. We're going to see if anything happens there. But yeah, we definitely need cores. Send regular workers. Do we need a reserve? We actually probably do. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that because you can see there we have a big old fat multiple cold fronts coming through. 72 died in an accident while salvaging the oil tanker. Well, that's just what happens. We still need another core desperately. I just got to figure out how to get one. All right, let's see what Tesla Peak has to offer. Captain himself ordered this mine dug as a New London's coal began to dwindle. Hastily laid trail was lost to whiteouts. Okay, we don't need to worry about that one. Tall towers can be spotted. Further exploration has been hindered by the constant winds shearing glaciers. Our scouts noted some tunnels by Tesla City head in this direction. We could outfit an expedition. Yeah, why not? Send everyone there. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are at the end of our episode. End of everything, all well and good. We are okay. It's not the best. It's not the best at all. We're heading towards equality. We are heading towards progress, which is something we haven't really worried about too much. But what we need are cores. We need to activate and research surplus injectors. We need to have them and research melting deep deposits and build a drill. But that requires cores, and we don't want to waste it. Hello, everybody. This is Havoc, and welcome back to Frostpunk and our campaign continuing what is hopefully going to be a fantastic episode. So, in the last one, we got our dreadnought. It is okay. We could definitely use a little more of an up, and we're going to try and get our oil production up and running much beyond what we're doing right now. No worries there, though. We need to expand our city. You can see that we have a little bit of shelter that we need to meet, and then obviously our goods production. And then also, we are expanding and checking out things everywhere that we can pretty much go. But one thing that I did notice is that we haven't even expanded over here with our logistics bay yet. And I do believe we can expand our logistics bays anyways and do some research to get a ton of Frostland teams. So I'm excited to see what that holds for us. So if you are excited, be sure to let me know by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving your comments in the comment section. And that really does a lot for engagement, and that's what YouTube loves to see. All right, so we're going to repair those two things. We need to research and construct the generator with the surplus injectors. We need to activate those injectors and supply enough oil to reach a heat surplus. And also we can research melting deep deposits and build a deep melting drill. Now, if we were to go into here, we're already researching, which is great. But one of the things we need to do is we need to build skyways, because this brings in a lot more product, or a lot more resource transaction. I think the roadways that we currently do only do 250. These can do 600, I believe. And then the next thing we need to do is a scouts headquarters. I believe that's the one. Nope, a logistics bay. Because as you can see here, if we go with the Frostlanders or the Pilgrims with the Vanguard logistics bay, we get 20 Frostland teams output. That would be massive. That would mean at a minimum, we would get 60 once we are able to get other deposits in. So that's pretty darn good. I'm really going to be happy with that. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's because we just repaired it. Gotcha. That works. So speaking of all of this, let's take a look real quick. 2,300 people here. It's a little bit colder. Oh, snap. It was only a matter of time. We had an unusually long streak of mild weather, but now meteorologists are clear. There's a familiar drop in air pressure at higher altitudes. The wind will cause, we have a whiteout. Okay, so we need to get food and heat. up and running very, very quickly. So let's head over to our old dreadnought and see what we can do to get this up and running. Now, let's see. We do have the deep melting drill. We need to build it. We can't build it anywhere over here. And it doesn't look like we actually have anything that would help with extracting here. Now, I do know there is tech for that. For instance, we have pump jacks. Pump jacks would be really good for us over there, and that's what we'll probably end up doing because we don't have anything we can do. We may go after these 2 areas for the prefabs simply because it would be beneficial for us because it does contain, 400 prefabs. We could really use all of those. Okay, cool. So we'll do that, get those rolling. And then I will go ahead and do we want to work on the logistics bay right now or not? I don't know. There's so many things we have to work on all at once. It's a little overwhelming. Let's go ahead and build another housing district. And the reason for that is simply if there's going to be a lot of vandalism for the time being, we need to just go ahead and get that capacity over. That way we're good. All right, cool. Well, we have 30 Frostland teams, so we need to get things rocking and rolling. We're not going to do anything with the abandoned Lazare. We have a possible settlement, the looming remains of a city once famed for its technological models. Let's go ahead and we won't connect. Actually, we could connect a regular trail. I think that would be fine. And then that way the skyways don't require we don't need a skyway when we research because we can do that there. We're not going to worry about this one yet. This is the one where, how are our relations with the stalwarts? They're pretty, I mean, they're neutral right now. Yeah, we'll get relations up. We'll get relations up. I'm not super concerned. We're not going to do this. Oh, we could establish a whale outpost. Yeah, we don't need that. 10% production. That would be awesome. We could do a whale mining outpost. I think that would probably be the better solution, but we're not going to worry about it right now. What we were going to worry about is, what do we got here? Potential for food and cores. Cores are great. I don't know if we need them right now. This is the Tesla crater. Supply prefabs to New London. Absolutely. But we're going to do the Skyway for that one. Prefabs, cores, and Frostland dwellers. Let's go ahead and launch that expedition. That's fine. And that's everyone that we have. Okay, cool. Oh, this is cool. The stalwarts have begun using oil to power a small radio they've attached to their lamps. They claim this will allow them to further ensure the safety of workers. So far, it seems to be working. Managers can report accidents in a heartbeat. Spreadsheets can be updated in real time. And foremen can micromanage to an unprecedented degree. Sweet, they've improved after we pledged to defeat the frost. Okay, well that's good. I'll take it. Speaking of, let's see, anything down here that we haven't done yet? There isn't. I don't think we need to do guard enforcers yet. No, everyone is against it, and tension isn't really that high anyways. Nope, we'll be good. All right, so we just got a request to do one of our pump jacks, so this is actually perfect. So what do they want to do? Do we want to do disease or do we want to do squalor? Oh, we've already researched it. Okay, so that means, or did they get that done for us? It's probably the latter, which is nice. We built a heating thing here to reduce the heat, but now we're going to go with our fracturing pump jack. Now, we should be able to build 3 of them. I don't know about 4 of them. Do we already have something here? Oh, that's oil. Yeah, we should be able to build that. I don't know why it's saying we can't. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, it's a workforce thing. So we're going to go here. We are going to transfer. We're just going to relocate 800 people. Okay, and just like that, we're at a positive 191, which is awesome. Okay, cool. So that is solved for now. Now, admittedly, we do need to transfer some stuff, and we could transfer a couple things of food. We can do that there as well. We're still low ourselves over there, so that's okay. Let's go ahead. That's the most demand that we can meet, which is fine. What do we got here? Justice has no scabbard. The stalwarts have upgraded their automatons to respond to a specific frequency on their radios. Oh, They've equipped the beasts with searchlights and speakers and mounted them, patrolling the city to maintain order. Pilgrims believe this is absurd. Someone stole a bread roll yesterday and they nearly leveled the entire district, lumbering after those on the metal wretches. However, numbers favor the stalwarts. Crime has dropped considerably. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. That's great, but that's like a huge invasion of everything we don't want to do. Okay, so we don't have enough heat stamps either for research. Is that true? What about the flatlands? We're going to go with skyways. We're going to go ahead and research that idea. I think it needs to happen. We can also do our logistics district. Once I've got those boyos, sweet. And the meadow has been explored. Silver automatons. Under the snow lies a convoy of automatons with imperial livery and tarnished silver hulls. Machines seem to have come from the Ashtop Mountains. The scouts managed to decipher their last instruction. If no one arrives, seek survivors. Our scouts are confident they could repair them to work on New London. Otherwise, we could repurpose the cores. If we repaired them, it gives us 1,200 workforce, but we don't need to have a workforce issue. So instead, we'll get the cores. Plague shacks. The crowds surviving in these hunting shacks have a distinctive pox all over their skin. They claim their affliction makes them more resistant to the cold. Interesting. No, we're not going to worry about that. Sorry, folks. Definitely not going to take that risk. 25 teams for all of these. 20. Here we go. The frozen sea, or can we go this way? Let's go into the valley and see what happens there. Oh boy. Steward, a group of strangers has arrived at the old dreadnought. They call themselves the Wanderers. They seem to be a nomadic tribe for whom this wreck is a pilgrimage site. When they learned their tombs were destroyed, they were furious. Clenched jaws the only sign of outrage. Okay, well, we made that mistake. As we've taken their camp, they've asked we at least provide a stockpile of oil that will enable them to survive the whiteout. They seem desperate enough to be a threat. All right, you can choose to raid the old dreadnought. They may choose to raid the old dreadnought. We need to stockpile 30,000 oil within 49 weeks or turn them down and secure the site. We're going to go ahead and promise them oil. We don't have enough guards right now. Now, we could get that within 49 weeks, but there's other priorities that I want to research. So we're going to promise them to deliver oil. Let's hope for the best. Are there any other things that I could do? I don't think there really are. Yeah, we're really hurting for time stamps or heat stamps. But what do we have coming? Skyways are coming. Sweet. That's going to really help us. I think Skyways probably require heat stamps. Yeah, per route segment. Okay. We may need to sacrifice time or standing with one of the people. We'll grant them the agenda. That should raise relations. But what I desperately need are a lot more heat stamps to get things running. We also may reduce machine-centric shifts. Increased by mechanized sawmills. Yeah, I get all that. It's pretty notable. That squalor's pretty bad. And we could work on crime as well. I think logistics bays is the way to go, though. But not quite yet. Let's go ahead and get into the city. We have hospitals, watchtowers, and youth. I don't really know necessarily that we need to worry about this. We have a lot of injured, which the hospitals would definitely be able to help. But I think we got to tackle... I think we have to tackle this a bit. And I think we need to go patrol watchtower. Because it gets us more guards, by the way, without heat reduction. I think we have to roll with that. We do need to reduce crime. That's going to reduce the tension in the city overall. And then what do we have here? Community service city development effort. Everyone must support the production of prefabs to help the city. We're just going to let them do it. Now, this is what we did to allow the vote to pass earlier. So, like, if it doesn't pass, it's not like it's on us. It passed at what it needed to. Okay. So they're going to start making some prefabs, which is going to help us a lot, by the way. But yeah, we definitely need more heat stamps. Favorable. we're going to... Oh, we have to resolve current events. Hold on. The stalwarts have begun throwing rallies in celebration of the generator upgrade. Orderly rows of faction members support and fill the city squares. Tell them what we rally for. We rally for progress, for the generator, for the city. Their passion is contagious, inspiring others to put in additional effort. What do we want them to do? I think we're going to get them more heat stamps income. Yep. Okay, cool. So this district is run by the stalwarts, fervor, if you want to call it that, which is totally fine. We have a lot here. Will last for 30 weeks. That's not fine, actually. And so the real question is, can we build a Skyways home? We can. Sweet. That's helpful. Oh, we could send the oil now, but let's not do that just yet. And then what do we have here? All the prefabs are done. Okay. We knew that wouldn't last long. It wasn't intended to last for a long time. They are slowly picking up speed as well. And I just want to make sure that all of our stuff is as expanded as it can be. Can I build 2 fracturing things per? I think you can. And if we can, then that's what we're definitely going to do. Alright, we now have a Skyway. Now that Skyway should allow for an increased number of resources. There we go. 600 total now. So what we can do... Actually, no, we need to allow them to build up. Yeah, we're going to allow them to not be so built up. And then the colonists here, they can't do anything. We can't do anything to them in that regard. But what I can do here, I can raise funds, but I think if I raise funds over here, they contribute a lot more. Yep, it's okay. It's okay. We're good. The rally's being and collapsing, that's totally fine. I really don't care about that aspect. I just need some money to do things. Due to your negative relations, your supporters are ending their rallies. I'm okay with that. That does not matter in the long run. What does matter is that we have enough food stored up, that we get enough oil stored up, and that's going to hopefully be the case over here. Now, in theory, sweet, I can build 2 per. Which means we're going to go and get significantly more output. Yes, here we go. Look at that. 500 a day will be filled in 10 weeks. That's going to be plenty of time to get that. Still plenty of time. Okay, that's a traveling expedition. I thought that was the whiteout. And I panicked. I panicked internally for a very, very brief second there. All right, cool. Well, we explored this place. The IEC smelter. This huge mine and smelting apparatus provided the steel used to construct the nearby generators on behalf of the Imperial Exploration Company. A crew of thousands once lived within and below the machine, only a small fraction of whom made it to New London. Captain sent a crew of cores here to establish an outpost. There's no sign of the crew, but the cores remain, along with many salvageable components. We could take the cores, give us 4 cores, 500 prefabs. Or we could use this as an output to generate materials. We're going to do that 100%. Like, that's a rather obvious one for me. Sweet. Okay. That's fine because that gives us a material output of how much? 312. And we could ship that over to the other, to the dreadnoughts if we wanted to. Which... Nope, we're only at a minor positive, so that's what we're definitely going to do. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and go here. We need to reduce squalor desperately. I'm tired of seeing it. It's causing a bunch of issues. So we're going to get off of work, whatever it's called, work or weather-centric shifts. We are going to negotiate The Frostlanders are willing to negotiate on this one. And we would need to research buildings. A biowaste hothouse is actually a really good one. Disease is slightly increased, but it does a massive amount of food output. So we'll definitely vote for that. That's going to pass, no problem. There we go. Cool. Now, whether people agree with me or not, that's not the issue. The issue is that we reduce the squalor. Sweet. Squalor is diminishing. Patrol watchtower is good to go. And then now we need to get into our resources and do what we said we were going to do. We're going to research that biowaste hothouse. And then we have the capability. Okay, there's the surplus injectors, but I am going to go ahead and drop a watchtower. All right, so I forgot to construct the generator. We needed to do that a while ago. And here is the whiteout coming as well. And also, we have more than enough that we need here. Nope, I need to go here. Oh, we have to send the oil to... Okay, it's from New London that we have to send it. That's not a problem. We will send everything we have. And then we will also provide more than enough supplies to go over and do that. We need to be able to cap these boyos a little bit better. Okay, cool. Now we can go here. Send the oil from New London. We still have plenty left over. And then if we go here, back to New London, we have a huge cap here to be able to hopefully survive that winter. Oh yeah, I think we'll be great. All right, the Watchtower Guard is facing disciplinary action for abandoning its patrol to carry a sickly woman to an infirmary. Knew something was off when I could smell it. Couldn't smell any oats cooking from Mrs. Weatherby's place. Went to check her, saw she crumpled on the floor. His commander is clearly displeased. That's all fine, but while Salvalis was off playing medic, 2 robberies took place in the district. He's asking for his removal from the force. No. Tensions decreased per watchtower. No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I would rather have that happen. All right, the nomads have received the promised oil. Their leader approached our scouts with respect. They took great care to avoid the site of the graves we desecrated. At last, they siphoned the oil into a wagon. They led with seemingly kind words. All is forgiven between us. This shelter is now your shelter. Our graves are now your graves. Awesome. We deliver the oil. They accepted with deference and left for their journey through the Crosslands. All right, so we're working on that. That's all well and good. It looks like we do have a law that people are wanting to try and push, which is also okay. We're not super worried about it. And then right before the storm comes in, we have the option to upgrade the injectors, which I should have done a heckin' long time ago. All right, Frostlanders are delighted you kept your word. They look upon your rule more positively. Great. All right. Working with the little more radicals is, I think, still going to be beneficial. Activate surplus ejectors and supply enough oil to reach a heat surplus. Sweet. The warmth our upgraded generator now pumps through the veins of the city is unprecedented. People take off their layers, testing the air with bare skin and disbelief. The dream of feeling warm again is real, unless the frost tests us. Okay, so we have a huge thing here, but what we're going to do, we're not going to turn off we're going to turn that off. We're going to stockpile, because right now we only have 15 weeks worth, which isn't enough. We're going to pump those resources over. We now have, we filled in 11 weeks, excuse me. And so we'll be good there. I think we will definitely be able to finish out or be able to survive, which is a wild thing to think about. Just being able to fill that right away and not really have a concern is a bit crazy to me. And it's just really cool that we're in such a good position right out the bat. And then right before the whiteout, Fortitude Valley has been explored. The Road Expedition, a possible settlement. The abandoned bases welcomes us with the Fortitude sign. The roof has collapsed in a lab where scientists study the cause of the frost. But the training halls remain intact, along with the equipment used in attempts to contact other generator cities. We could take all the preserved supplies back to New London, or we could leave them, making reactivating the base less costly. Yeah, no, we'll definitely do that, I think. We're not going to do that yet, though. And then a Dreamer's Mine. An ironwork sits at the surface of this mine. Its walls covered with designs for wagons and transports. A smaller glassworks once fabricated fragile scientific instruments. Few tools remain after many years of scavenging. There's still iron. Oh, okay, cool. I think that would be worthwhile, but I don't think we can connect it just yet. So increase our supply by 200 materials until its 2 million materials are depleted. Cool. We're going to go ahead and get the gorge just to see if there's anything there. Cursed Valley might have some people that we could forage and go help there with. And then we could go with the Frozen Sea and hope that those guys survive. I probably shouldn't have sent them out there. There's a solid chance that they might die. All right, Steward, the Pilgrims have decided to send their strongest travelers out before the whiteout to search the surrounding area. With their parkas as their shield, they intend to walk Frostland unscathed, united under one tent and guided by their prophet's vision. They don't appear to be asking. That's fine. Yeah, we have plenty. We have plenty. We'll be okay. Like, I don't think that's an issue. What do we got going on here? Squalors out the wazoo. By material scarcity. Okay, we need to build... Oh, we can't because we don't have heat stamps. We'll get heat stamps, but... What we need to do... is, I mean, unfortunately, we just don't have a lot to offer. We are scarce ourselves. It's just not bad. It will last for 5 weeks. That's all. What we need to do is we need to find a materials thing. All right, no, those are prefabs. Okay, we could definitely use that anyways. All right, well, it looks like the whiteout is about here. Oof, it's gonna get cold. It's gonna get real cold. We're gonna go ahead and kick the surplus injectors on. And we are ready for this as best as we can. Oh no, it's here. The whiteout is definitely here. Wild, and we still, even with all of the heat that we had like 1600 heat, we're still losing oil. It'll last throughout the whiteout, don't worry. But my goodness gracious. Those whiteouts are still a big deal, aren't they? We need to make sure we keep everything supported. And I think we'll be good. Okay, one thing that we can do though, we did just get done researching. Oh, where is it? A moss filtration tower. So we're gonna get one of those, a few of those up and running. I assume they can only be done inside of homes, housing districts. That's the word I'm thinking of. So we definitely need to go ahead and expand a little bit wherever we can. I know there are a couple of housing districts that don't have... Okay, so it looks like we need to do a little bit of frost breaking. But the benefit of these moss filtration systems is that they significantly decrease squalor, like by a massive amount. So we definitely want to get at least 1 or 2 of them in, see if we can't fight off that massive amount of squalor. And then those left behind the whiteout. Steward, over the howling winds of the whiteout, the Pilgrims have accused the stalwarts of indoctrinating Pilgrim children into their youth program. Since the other Pilgrims left, kids began leaving for the stalwarts in droves. Pilgrims assert that the stalwarts are trying to swear the children into their ranks before their Pilgrim mentors return. But the stalwarts maintain these children have been abandoned, left adrift, with no role models to guide them. I lost my daughter last winter, one stalwart says. When I spoke with Abigail, well, it's like talking to my little girl. We're going to go with trust. We're going to increase trust because tension is fine. Squalor is still growing. Oh, because we haven't actually done that. Let's do that real quick. And let's see what happens. There we go. It's stable. Hopefully it'll decrease once we get there. Holy Moses, are we really scarce with food already? We must have consumed just an unreal amount. Oh, the squalor was terrible here. That's another reason why we got to get these. We got to get these expanded. Because the squalor is just killing us. Like, it literally is killing us. Yeah, I don't want to get into squalor. But we definitely need to try and expand where we can. Okay, well, I wasn't prepared for this. But we'll get there. We'll get there. What's it like over here? Oh, they're fine. We need to transfer. Can we transfer between food? Yeah, we can. That's actually kind of hilarious. Just the fact that we can transfer during this whiteout. It's leaving us, though. As you can see, we're almost through it. Yeah, that'll last us for 1 week, but that may be all we need. Okay, we got through it. Man alive. All right, remain productive, people. Okay, so squalor is now reduced to notable. Crime is now notable, and it is stable. So hopefully the squalor decrease that we saw will work. All right, whiteouts are still a threat. Ice turns to steam at the whiteout wanes, but it's clear that we are far from keeping New London warm forever. The whiteouts are not gone. What will we do if the horrors of the whiteout years return? If we want to withstand them without fear, we must improve the generators even more, and that will require a great deal of cores. We only know of one site with so many cores, the metal roots of Winterhome's ruined generator. Oh no. Our current generator will not be enough. We need to colonize Winterhome to get more cores to upgrade further. Life inside the city is now warmer than... Oh, never mind. Chapter 3. Return to Winterhome. Past the gorge and the Cursed Valley lies the failed city of Winterhome. Our scouts have avoided the ruins for years, yet without its cores we cannot upgrade the generator to its full potential. I don't know about that. We should take the time to prepare resources and workforce. Returning to Winterhome will pose significant challenges. Okay, so that's not something we need to take lightly. All right, so what we can do, we need to get back to us first. There we go. Provide a nice little boost of resources and we'll be fine. We're going to transfer as much oil as we can over there again. And then over here, we do need... There we go. We'll be fine there. Oh, we can't. That actually brings us beyond what we can do. Sweet. All right, we're good there. We're going to transfer those resources so that way we can kind of share everything and make the Dreadnought space not as bad. All right. And actually, while we're at it, let's go ahead and transfer 5K. So that will last a long time. If we were to go over here, they're only at -1, so it'll go out in a good long while, which is fine. We have the space over here, but we don't have the workforce. Okay, we don't have the workforce. Never mind. We could transfer the workforce. Or transfer a few people over here. And what's funny is that... Okay, no, we actually have significantly more here over here. It looked like from the transfers that everyone... We were about equal in terms of size. We're not equal in terms of size. Okay, so what we can do, though, is I think we have a bio-waste hothouse, which we could definitely use. But I also remember... Did we not use the exploration? Oh, we didn't get logistics space. Yeah, we're definitely going to do a vanguard that gets us a lot of output. We're going to research that idea. We have plenty of people and plenty of a workforce to work on it. Squalor significantly decreased. It's diminishing, which is great. And that means that our reduction of everything will be good. Okay, we have 25 people as well. Oh, this is the Winterhome Bridge. Oh, we've already started exploring. That's right. Remains the old bridge leading to Winterhome. And this is a weather station, which increases population growth. Obviously, we can't do anything over there. But we did explore this area here. We have a fishing trawler. Full catch is locked in ice. A logbook in the hold suggests the vessel originally hailed from somewhere called Canada. But we have no idea where it's been since, eh? The catch may still be edible if people in New London have a strong palate. Significantly increased disease. No, thank you. All right, nomad exiles. These people are shunned by other nomads. They are tight-lipped about exactly what happened. Willing to integrate if we let them start a fresh life. Yeah, that's fine with me. I have no issues there. We're going to go ahead and launch an expedition into here, to rugged territory for the Howling Shore. We may find food. We may find cores. That all works for me. Now, what we're going to do is we're also going to turn off surplus injectors. That way we can start stockpiling. And we are going to get fuel. I don't think it matters. Okay, yeah, it does if we put them in extractor districts. We don't have extractor districts that are next to each other. We'll just put it there and we'll be good with that. We're going to expand these boyos now that we have the capability to. And we need to work on the Pilgrims faction, but I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. All right, in terms of survival, it seems like a lot of people want the machine-centric shifts, but I'm desperate to get squalor reduced. All right. We have an interesting scenario. A handful of desperate pilgrims gathered in front of the generator earlier today. One spoke to the gathering crowd as they painted themselves in oil. She detailed a different plan for Winterhome, one that would breathe a second life into the cursed land. We cannot destroy Winterhome for its cores. We must settle it. We must adapt. This is our last chance to make you hear us, Steward, so we must be loud. And with that, of course, they set themselves alight. Rescue teams were able to save the would-be martyrs, but our people are clearly shaken. Stalwarts urge us to get ahead of the narrative before our people are swayed. That's fine. Their fervor will be increased, but our relations will improve with the stalwarts. And I think that's pretty important. All right, so they have a pretty daggum big fervor. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we survived the whiteout easily enough, and we're here now to go and see what's beyond it. Hello, everybody. This is Havoc, and welcome back to Frostpunk 2. In the last episode, we survived our first whiteout with relative ease. We didn't see any huge issues, but regardless, we are back, and things are getting quite tense. The Pilgrims, we have kind of rejected them and made them the minority in all the worst ways, and now, go figure, there's a Pilgrims protest. But before we get into it, if you want to support the channel and this video, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments in the comment section down below to engage ye old YouTube algorithm, and make sure that this video is a success. Steward, the Pilgrims have taken to the streets in protest against the growing dependence on oil and the generator. We can't stand and let the stalwarts further bind the city into a single point of failure. We kept silent as the whiteout endangered us all, but no more. They feel they have no further recourse to make their dissent known. They've deployed their tents in the middle of the district, joining them together, blocking production lines. What should we do? All right. We can accept their demands, which means we would demolish a deep melting drill, repeal allow productive outsiders, and repeal harvesting. We could further their vision. Within 40 weeks, research all of this, convince them to stop or ignore for now. We will raise relations. We can raise relations by granting them an agenda. Sweet. They've improved enough they don't feel inclined to protest anymore. Great. Fantastic. Oh my word, look at all of them. Holy Moses. Can I get a good look at this district? Okay. They made it look really, really bad. I wonder if that's almost like a bug or something. That's fine. I just thought it was like a big, massive... I mean, it is. Like, look at that. That's actually kind of hilarious. That's a lot of stuff there. All right. Okay, we're good. Sweet. Production's back up and running. And we finally built another industrial thing, which will push us into there. Sweet. What do we have here? We have 27 per week. We're good on that front. I don't think prefabs are going to be much of an issue. However, path to power for the city's safety. Pilgrims' protest has terrified many in the city. They're calling for a response from the council. Captain limited the steward's powers, but he couldn't have foreseen this descent. Maybe it's time to come to increase our leadership's authority. Go ahead. Okay. Well, we're already voting on that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and vote on that real quick. But I think I should get another one. There we go. That passed with pretty ease. Figured it would. Okay, nope. So we'll have to do my own little thing to further my influence a little bit later, but no worries. All right, what we need to do is do a bio-waste hothouse because that's going to vastly improve our food surplus. Now that the whiteout has passed, we can start doing things like, you know what, we don't even need prefabs at this point. We're going to improve our relations with the stalwarts pretty easily. And we're going to counter that by taking the wise women in. I forgot about these people. And then we need to dismantle, or we can come back later. We're definitely going to come back later. I'm not going to tick those people off. Looks like we could increase our supply by 250 coal. Now that is interesting because it would allow us... In the future, we can modify, what am I trying to think of? We can modify coal to produce oil. So it's not like we're out of pocket, basically. This is an abandoned camp. We're going to go and take the prefabs. Why not? And then prefabs, +1 per week until its deposit is depleted. I don't think we need anything crazy here. Okay, nope, we can't do it. All right, cool. All right, Steward, we're struggling with heat stamps. Yeah, don't say. A group of pilgrims have come forward. We should pass durable goods. Let us pursue it, and the city will benefit. They want to pass the goods to solve the... Yeah, let's do that. Durable goods. I don't know what we have now, but I think that's a really smart idea. We also built a logistics bay. A Vanguard logistics bay, which has increased our Frostland teams by 20, which means we can explore places like this right here to see what it doesn't hold for us. And then, yeah, what else are we exploring over here? Oh, this is it. What do we got? Some nomads have left a circle of strange machines around a single charred body. Forget hope is carved into each machine, some of which contain useful cores. To left where they lie. It's only 2 cores. And then Mossy Caves gives us food until this deposit is done with. What is the food supply here? Okay, they're a little bit. Just a little bit. We could do that for them. We're not going to take that catch. No. We're going to harvest and send to the old dreadnought. That way they have a little bit of food over there, and that's going to give them a nice good surplus. They should be okay. And then over here, we did build our hothouse, which is going to start improving our food surplus a lot. And we can destroy... Oh no, we don't need to destroy this. We can use the drill here if we want to. Oh, we can't use the drill. We have to expand first. Okay, we're going to have to waste... I don't enjoy this part. But you know what? We can go this way and unlock that, which would give us a good amount of food. That's a good idea. I like that. All right, sweet. Biowaste hothouse produces more food thanks to foraged activities. Very nice. All right, council law. Let's go into survival. Mass produced goods, which did efficiency is increased and active workers is increased. We're going to do durable goods. Goods demand is slightly decreased. So it's kind of not a bait and switch necessarily, but yeah. And it passed pretty easily. Sweet. Relations with the pilgrims improve, trust rises. And then as you can see now, that actually does quite a bit. Now we do have 2,000 workforce, so I'm not concerned about it. But what we can do is we should start expanding our housing districts. And then sweet, we kind of took advantage of connecting multiple outposts. So now we have 250 output going into there. And then also our exploration costs are decreased as well. So that's a pretty good for both of them. We're not going to connect that trail yet because I don't see a need for it. And then if I were to go over into the dreadnought, sweet. Okay, we have a material surplus. So we're actually doing really good here overall. All right, and that's a food district. That's also a food district. We could do a hothouse here. That would actually probably be beneficial. Yeah, we could do that. I'm wondering if we should. There's a logistics here. Actually, the logistics... Oh, no, that's fine. The real question is, does it give me more people? Nice, it does. I'll take it. And then we could also do the same logistics thing here. Being careful that we don't do everything. And then we do need this because we can build our deep melting core and take advantage of that. Sweet. So we're in our surplus. We're actually doing okay. We still need, obviously, a lot more heat stamps. Unmet demands for goods in the old dreadnought is causing -8. Okay, we need to work on that. And I actually think we can. We could build an industrial district. All right, so that demand, we're going to go just like that. We can expand, so we're definitely going to expand. And then we're going to take a look at, we lost a lot of people. So that means we just went out and discovered a place that was pretty dangerous. I think it was this one right here. Outpost 11 contains a military warehouse from before the frost. Settlement here salvaged its contents for materials and cores, temporarily declaring independence from New London. Warehouse is empty. We could use it as a storage facility or salvage the remains. If we salvage the remains, we get 100,000 material stockpile. There's nowhere more secure for our stockpiles than Outpost 11. We're not going to do anything yet. I need to see if there's anything. Increased exploration speed. If we connect those, that's great. So we'll look at those. Now the stalwarts are protesting. The city's changing. We present the list of demands. Oh, my word. Convince them to stop. We'll just convince them. My word. You guys are just a pain in the butt, aren't you? We'll grant you an agenda. Boom. Like it's there. What do you want to do? Worker shifts, machine-centric. Go ahead and vote for it. It's not my fault that it can't get done.
Proposed law
Sorry, boyos.
has been rejected.
I let you do it. You just didn't have enough. Oh, and it looks like what? We have a protest here? Come on, friends. Okay, good. It's going down. What is not going down is our massive demand for housing. To the point where I'm probably going to have to build another thing here. Yeah, we're going to have to ice break to go there. What do we got now? Unmet demands for goods in multiple cities is now at -10. So we could be getting 40 per week, but instead we're getting 30, which is extremely unacceptable, I will have to say. But we are getting a lot of material surplus there. So what we might do, hold on. Frostlanders stand against the stalwarts. My word. Stalwarts will abandon expanded extraction district. Okay. Whatever, my dudes. You just need to chill out. So what we're going to do, we're going to pump this towards the old dreadnought. And that should give them the production they need. Stockpile is full. That is going to be full. I don't know that I have the ability. 50, 80 heat stamps for the food. And then we'll need to do some more for the material surplus, I think. We need 100 people. My goodness gracious. All right, we've been exploring like madmen. Let's see what the results don't yield for us. We need to eventually find the Winterhome ruins as well. The Hot Springs Refuge. In the heart of the mountain pass stands an old station likely used to connect Outpost 11 with the distant hot springs. Found the body of an elderly man who'd frozen while waiting for a transport. We could dismantle. We get 1 core, 150 prefabs. We're going to wait. Anything that I can do to like establish new places is going to be really cool. An opulent passenger vessel lies under the snow, barely visible. Chart inside indicated it left London, was headed for a site in the Ashtop Mountains when the great storm struck. Seemed to be many more bodies than the vessel was designed to carry. Go figure. It will be grim work to dig around the bodies, but we can salvage the cores. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. And then, oh sweet, the same reindeer herds provided us food at various occasions over the last few decades. Seemed the herd's numbers have increased. Okay, that's really cool. We're going to definitely go ahead and harvest it. That'll be great. Okay, we do need to send to the Cursed Valley. But let's go over to here. Those reindeer, we got a lot of reindeer, slowly dying away to constant storms and lack of edible fauna. They won't survive too many more years. Let's go ahead and send them to New London. Why not? And then a wrecked warehouse. A crumbling warehouse sits by a dilapidated track. It has been pillaged many times, but one of our scouts noticed a metal trapdoor. She drilled through the thick metal, entered a buried chamber containing a pristine core. Instruction manuals show the core is intended to drive a locomotive, but we can refurbish it. Yeah, 3 cores actually. So that's a lot more than just a singular one. And then here we get prefabs until the prefab is done. I thought we already did that. We must not have had the teams available to connect the trail. What about a skyway? What is this? Okay, we've already done that. Yeah, let's go ahead and connect that there. And then it seems like we could just connect it there, or could we go this way? Oh, let's just go ahead and leave it. That will work. That'll connect both of them. And this does mean we'll get 250 coal. I don't know what we do with that exactly at the moment, but that's okay. Do I have a place to stockpile both? I do. Okay, that's cool. So we could stockpile those without any issues. We do need lots and lots of housing. But I think what we could do here is, I imagine that whatever we do with Winterhome will require you to bring people there. So I don't think we're going to have a huge issue with that. We've already, our stockpile for food is stupidly high. Let's go ahead and build a couple of hubs, because hubs don't really do anything bad. No, they just give us an increased capacity. I'm all for getting some massive increases in stock and food based on how we handled it last time, in which case we desperately needed that. So I'm okay. We're good there. We actually have a very good surplus overall. we could transfer that to our boyos over here, who can only take 10,000, which is good because that's really all that we can offer. And actually, in terms of goods, we can sort of eke out a living here. They can eke out a living just fine. Yeah, that's going to be totally good. And that way we can pump some goods into these guys, just so those resources aren't such a burden. Which should, there we go, increase our income per week. Okay, good. We have lots of stuff we can do. So now we're going to keep working on these things. That way we can get goods factories, for instance, which would be very, very nice for us. It's interesting because I really don't have an issue with the workforce thing. So in the case of a larger workforce, we would get a reduction in materials output for even more goods output. So I'm not worried about that. And that's just kind of an interesting scenario to be in, because I thought I would struggle more with figuring that stuff out, but it doesn't appear that we need to. So we're all good. Maintenance duty. Material demand is significantly decreased. Oh, well, that's interesting. All do maintenance. I thought we already had all do maintenance. Maybe we don't. Okay, well, that's really cool. Material demand is significantly decreased would be awesome. Workers housing, I don't think we need to do that. Housing distribution. Merit-based housing is interesting, but we're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and get into hospitals. We haven't gotten into hospitals yet, and I think we could really use them. So disease is slightly decreased with a teaching hospital. Will regularly cure a significant number of sick absentees. It's also interesting that I'm way more towards the stalwarts, the stalwarts and the pilgrims, which are our minority, than I am for what the majority seems to want to do. I really think this one's good. Yeah, we're definitely going to go with the teaching hospital. I think that's awesome. All right, so teaching hospitals are now in act, and we can build 2 of those there. And you'll also notice that squalor is completely absent. Crime is completely absent. And I think soon we're about to have disease. Well, maybe not disease. Okay, no, it is. And on top of that, we could probably support another housing district in here. And we boost the heat of everything as well because we're there. 6 times the charm, teaching hospital. Oh, that's gross, but cool. Stewart, Dr. Thomas Morton, a teaching hospital surgeon, has for the first time saved the life of a patient suffering from appendicitis by removing the diseased organ. Very cool. Students in the operating theater broke into applause. All 5 patients before this had died. Morton got lucky this time, but we shouldn't make such a show of these surgeries. It's degrading and hard on the families. Morton disagrees, arguing that this is the most effective way for students to learn. No, that's fine. This is a huge risk. Tension is marginally increased per teaching hospital. Disease is marginally decreased. Ugh. Turning death into a learning experience strips it of dignity. Yeah, we got to do that. I think that's the smartest thing to do here. And then disease is gone. So like outside of housing, which we are working on housing right now, we don't have issues in Flip and Flap in New London, which is wild to think about. All right, and then the next thing we need to do, we don't have enough teams because we're siphoning so much stuff, which isn't a problem. But we're siphoning so many things that we can't effectively use our people or exploration teams. So by expanding that, and then building 2 more logistics centers, we should be able to get, there you go, 65. Look at that. 120 people cured in hospitals. That's great. We need a significant amount of injured, though, to be brought back into the fold. And then whatever was going on here disappeared once we built that logistics base. And so we need to push. Oh, here we go. Dreadnought Husk, Curse of Winterhome. Empty Dreadnought toll towers over the flat snow. Our scouts met some people living in shelters on the leeward sides who claimed Mighty Machine was stripped clean long before they arrived. People have asked us to take them to New London, if only so they can be further away from the ruins of Winterfell. Everyone who goes there comes back with a cough that only worsens. Stay away. We'll definitely go ahead and do that. All right, the ruins of Winterhome. Winterhome has a cursed history. A series of corrupt leaders pushed the city's generators beyond its limits. If you in the first game, you'll know we found that out. A competent captain took charge, but by then the generator had been permanently damaged and doomed to explode. City's people had no choice but to gather what they could to a nearby dreadnought, take their chances. Rumor has it that the ruin still holds valuable resources, but our scouts avoid the site. Okay, we're still going to have to connect the trail. This is part of the story that we have to do, so I'm going to have to do it. But over here, reestablish Outpost 11 or salvage the settlement. We're going to reestablish it. We're going to start an outpost section that people can connect to. But in the meantime, oh, that's right. This is the Hot Springs Refuge. Okay, cool. We're not going to worry about trust. We have some trust issues right now as it is. Increases all stockpile limits. We'll take it. I don't know exactly by how much, but that works for me. Not going to be concerned. We're going to work on our expansion, which is going to be great. And then we have 55 teams that I think we could still kind of push out for. And again, once these things run out, for instance, they'll just simply disappear and our scouts will come back. So it's not like it's an end-all be-all. Goods, cores, and prefabs definitely want to go out there. Are there any like chill places out here that we can see? Doesn't look like it. The hills? Sure. Food and cores, we'll go ahead and launch that expedition. All right, so what we need to worry about here. We're currently neutral with both of these people. We're actually neutral everywhere, which is a little bit unfortunate. I wish we had like favor with some of them, but that's okay. These people really want no community service at all. We're going to go ahead and do it. Now, a lot of people are hesitant, so we're going to negotiate. We're going to finally get in with the New Londoners, maybe. Fun projects? No, I can't do that. That's a lot. Well, how much do we have? We have 707. I don't know that I want to do that. We are going to do no community service. We are going to negotiate. They actually have significantly more to bring to the workforce. Construct a biowaste hothouse. That's a piece of cake. Like, that's a piece of cake. Of course I'm going to do that instead of worrying about other things. Yeah. So many of them passed. All right. Wow, trust really did just skyrocket. That's amazing. All right, Tesla craters depleted. That's fine. We don't need to worry about it. But what I can build is I can go ahead and build another biowaste, which means we're going to be even more. We're going to have so much food. This food surplus is bonkers. All right, we do need to connect this pathway, though. There we go. That's pretty easy peasy to do. Built the bio warehouse. That's easy. Sweet. Okay, so now we have increased population growth because we got the weather station. And then we have the winter home ruins. Scouts report the valley is filled with toxic miasma seeping from chasms in the ground, seemingly made by a huge explosion. In an effort to make the site more hospitable, we could force an avalanche covering some of the fissures, but we would bury the technological roots of the city. If we want to access the foundations of the destroy generator and salvage the cores within, we have to demolish the last of the ruins and crack the ground open even more. Once our colonists arrive, we'll have to choose. Okay, so we can either exploit it or establish a new colony. We need more Frostland teams regardless. Pilgrims begin rallying, bursting with support. The streets fill the pilgrims as they praise your name. Contribute heat stamps. Yeah, let's go with the heat stamps thing. Really just need them. I need them. I need them. That's just what it is. Okay, cool. So we need 20 people to return so we can go after that. And then we will figure out what to do when that time comes. But yeah, the pilgrims were actually in really good with the pilgrims. What we're going to do here is we're going to grant them an agenda. It's interesting because the majority of the people here, they're just kind of like chill, relatively neutral just in general. But it's the radicals that are causing all the ruckus. All right, so they are trying to get the machine-centric shifts. So this is kind of an exploit we could potentially do. This is pretty much what they're going to want to do every time. But as far as I know, it doesn't do anything bad. So why not? I guess they went down. So maybe that was the bad part? I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, we're just waiting. We're essentially playing a waiting game. All right, so the dead end crags. It doesn't look like there's anything beyond this either, which is fine. The Rowett expedition, a transport lies in pieces, frozen corpses scattered around unburied. Our scouts found a journal. After that bloodshed weeks back, he only got madder. He speaks of splitting atoms, setting the air on fire, ending the frost. Oh my word. Is he considering like nuclear right here? He's declaring this is a one-way journey and hanged men who argued. Wow, there's nothing more can be done. For better or worse, we know Rowett's expedition will not return. Let's go here. The Rowett expedition, a pair of broken down transports are flanked by unmarked graves. Neither damage nor death were the result of natural causes, as we found out. If repaired, the transports could be useful. Then again, their cores could be useful too. It's only 2 cores. We're going to repair them. Exploration time is extremely decreased. And then here, we're not going to worry about. We don't need the food right now. But what we do need are people to go over here. So I think what we're going to end up doing, it looks like we have the option just to exploit it, or we can settle it. So we're going to send some colonists. Descending into the Valley of Winterhome will be very challenging. You will need to divert resources, manpower, and attention to New London. Yes. We're going to do it. I think we have everything we need. Steward, a radical group of stalwarts has come forward with a proposition. They suggest ensuring the leading members of Pilgrims end up included in the colonist group that will set out. The Pilgrims have been the source of discord in New London. Actually, you kind of have been too. Make sure the most fervent among them join the main group. No, we're going to recruit equally. No, we're going to rock this one. I don't know. I love political discord, and I think if we can sow that, we should do it. That's fine. Disturbances begin to collapse. That's fine. Hopefully that helps. And again, hopefully like enough people left where our housing issue goes down, because we do have a rather significant housing problem, which is not something I ever expected in a Frostpunk game. I'll tell you that for sure. But what we can do subsidized housing block. That will help just a smidge. A smidge is the correct assessment there. And then it's notable but diminishing disease. I hope so. Due to your negative relations, your supporters in the rallies. That's fine. What we're going to do here, we're going to go into our society. We can research more than one type of hospital. So I think what we should do here is slightly decreased, cure a significant number of sick absentees. And I think that's what's wrong, right? Oh no, it's mostly injured people. Then what is the other benefits in these other hospitals? It's sickness. So what we really need, okay, I thought this said cure a significant number of injured. Okay, so that doesn't do anything for us. We don't need to worry about prisons at the time. The youth trust rises slightly. For liberated youth, I think we could probably roll with that. All right, the Ashtop Mountains have been... Where are they? Aha, over here. Okay, cool. Oh, and we have this over here. All right. Winter Place, the old empire of possible settlement. Over the snowy valleys, towers an opulent manor, complete with a marble ballroom, indoor pool of hot spring water. Our scouts walk straight past the classical library and Turner seascapes to be amazed by the fur coats and felting gear in the servants' quarters, as well as silver skinning knives and leatherworking tools. The scouts wanted to take the boots and coats home, but the commander disagreed. We could use these samples and these tools to set up factory production. Oh yeah, no. That's great. Okay, cool. So we have a goods production, which is what we need. A steel shed sits by a small crevice, its doors rusted shut, IEC embossed on its roof. Managed to cut their way, found a core, tower, pumps, parts once used to construct a generator. Yeah, we'll do that. That's not a problem. Over here, an Imperial freighter, the wreck of a mighty freighter, marked with the colors of the old empire. It's the only wreck we see facing away, not towards the coast. Seems to have collided with another vessel, partially sunk, but fortunately remains above salvage. Okay, cool. Let's do that. And then the Royal Navy. We located a shipwreck lodged in its side, encased a massive block of ice, HMS Atalanta, barely legible on the aft starboard hull. We were unable to get inside. We found a jagged hole in the engine room. It's full of coal. The place made our scouts uneasy. We noticed our compasses were behaving erratically. Probably best not to linger here. Okay, we're not going to worry about that yet. The fate of Winterhome. The Winterhome expedition has arrived. The cores under the ruins could be used to further upgrade New London's generator, bringing about levels of warmth we never dreamt of. To reach the cores, we'd have to demolish the ruins, split the earth open, and then quickly before toxicity renders Winterhome forever uninhabitable. Alternatively, we could seal the toxic fissures, however, burying most of the cores. We could bring an avalanche down to batten down the cracks, then work fast to manually close what remains, but afterwards, we could build a new city here as a springboard for our expeditions. We're going to settle Winterhome. I've undecided. I know it goes against what we originally did to defeat the frost or whatever, but no, we're going to do this. Oh, okay. Inconsistent with our previous choices. There we go. And their path to defeat the frost will realize the pilgrim's dreams and undermine any hope of a future the stalwarts wanted. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to deal with it. I think no matter what, everyone's going to be outraged. I get it. I think we're going to be fine in terms of cores. Winterhome colonized. Chapter 4, Veracity. All right. We're going to see colonizing Winterhome into a habitable colony will be difficult. The remnant toxic gas springs will spew toxic fumes. We have to frost break and contain all fissures before it becomes lethal. I think we can do that. I don't think that's going to be an issue. However, what's it like here? Okay, the New Londoners are ticked, and the stalwarts are ticked as well. Oh boy. Okay, this is going to get really interesting. And as you can see, it also reduced our shelter demands, which is what I was hoping would happen. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to end right here. Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to Frostpunk 2. In the last episode, we rediscovered Winterhome, and instead of choosing to extract all the cores out of it that we could, we have chosen, and this could be good or bad, to settle it instead. So we need to tap into all the toxic gas springs using a fume filtration district. We need to do 3 of them as quick as we can, while also remaining stable. Now, that does mean that people are very, very upset with us. And in fact, if we were to go over to here, we would see that the stalwarts and the New Londoners are livid. We'll see if that has any effect today. But first and foremost, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We'll see what we can't get up to. If you want to support the channel, go ahead and do that by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and leaving your comments in the comment section down below. What do we have here? We got anything going on? Is there anything that we can even get on? And it doesn't look like there is. However, depending on how... Yeah, we wouldn't get that to pass just yet. Hopefully with the rising tensions, we'll be able to take advantage because I do want a little bit of a degree of control. So what we have to do here is we need fume filtration districts. All right. So they demand 100 materials, which is a massive amount. However, as you can see, we do have a lot of things that we can do here. We have to get out to these geothermal springs. Oh, they provide a ton of heat. All right, so we have a few geothermal springs. We have some toxic gas springs here, here, and here. Okay, so it's just all along that fissure there. That's good to know. It just means that we need to get out there and we need to get rocking and rolling. We also need to start ice breaking. Now, I want 1,400. Does that really say 1,400 materials? Because if so, that's a massive amount. Like, holy Moses. All right, so there's nothing we can do. We have to go out this way. So it looks like disease is going to be a big factor here. And we can only do 6 where we can normally do 8. Now, rapid is super fast. So that does look like that's 1,400 materials, right? I don't know. The UI isn't being too... yeah, safe is a ton of prefabs. All right, we're going to see what happens here. Oh, okay. 294 made sick from frostbreaking toxic terrain. As frostbreaking teams neared the chasms, it was as if we approached the maw of hell itself. The ground splintered and noxious fumes pushed through. Scores of our people suffered, brought right to the edge of death. Rapid frostbreaking can lead to injuries or death. Tensions between the pilgrims and stalwarts are rising. How many people do we have, though? Automated frostbreaking will not put people at risk of death. 1600 workforce, 30 oil requirement. Squalor is significantly increased, 60 heat demand. Yeah, we'll see if we can't get that running. Okay, so we know that we can't do that anymore. And then your housing districts here are still 6. Why can't I build over here is the real question. Okay, but they're having me build here. It is what it is. Disease is already going to be confirmed. I think no matter what, yeah, no matter what, disease is going to be a part of this. But thankfully, we do have, which will regularly cure a bunch of those people, and we could get squalor reduced as well. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is I am going to go ahead and do a filtration district. And that should really, really help things. And then what we can also do, let's see. We do have an okay number of people here. Everything is good on that end. Let's get some resource transfers in. That can also really help us, I think. Yeah, we can transfer that. There we go. We're at least good there for the time being. Those bleeping pilgrims, always bending the stewards' ear to their psychotic ideas, driving our city into the ground, and now with Winterhome putting us all in danger. This can't continue. Someone's going to have to do something. We tried talk. It's time for action. Oh no. Some enraged stalwarts aim to sabotage operations in Winterhome. You dastards. Okay, we do have a vote here, by the way. Liberated youth, young adults are encouraged to experiment, free from arbitrary bounds and judgments. Youth employment program, city ability, which bolsters the workforce but decreases heat stamp income. Trust rises slightly. We'll see. We'll see if it passes. I'm not going to do anything to encourage it or discourage it. All right, it's been rejected. I don't remember what we were working on over here, but in terms of resources, we're going to go with an automated workforce. Is that what I needed to do? Okay, it is. Cool. Okay, so let's go to automated workforce. We'll research the idea. We have plenty of heat stamps. And then we're working on our districts. Good. Okay, we just need to chill for a second. All right. Steward, the stalwarts are appalled at your treachery regarding Winterhome. Your last-minute reversal appears to be a blatant betrayal. I get it. We see now you are playing us for fools. Never again will we believe your word, Steward. You've proven how little it's worth. That's fine. The stalwarts have further united their contempt for you and more purpose and zeal than ever. I guarantee you we can turn it around. What I'm more worried about is the New Londoners, who do have a larger chunk of the community. 500 heat stamps is a lot. I will grant them an agenda, though. That way they're already neutral. And then we can go over here where we've already built one of our 3 gas taps, which should really, really help things. But as you can see, it looks like disease is notable and growing. We are going to expand. Yeah, we have to expand, and we have to expand quickly because I do need our teaching hospital to get put in. And then we'll also probably do a moss filtration system as well. Here we go. It's happened already. Sabotage in Winterhome. Some colonists, swayed by the stalwarts among them, have begun sabotaging our efforts. They tamper with buildings and heavy machinery. We could build watchtowers to maintain order, but some of the pilgrims whisper of a more extreme resolution. They propose we instill public executions. In their mind, it would both aid our effort as well as shows the colonists that given the option, working is the better choice. So this is really a lot. If we build watchtowers, we'll have to build 2 patrol watchtowers. We could enact public executions. The watchtowers are going to be a better thing, I think, because tension is decreased. Well, I guess it's decreased here too. No, I think we're just going to build watchtowers and roll with it from there. And we're doing okay in pretty much every other aspect. Can I build another housing district right off the bat? I can. That's totally fine with me. Are we able to build here? We are able to build here. I didn't think we would be. So we can go ahead and get an extraction district going, so that way we aren't hemorrhaging so many materials, but we're doing okay in that regard. Let's do, I think okay, we don't have a workforce that's worth a darn tootin'. But we do not have a teaching hospital, which means that disease should decrease. Hasn't yet, but it should. Death to Pilgrims, conflict is brewing. This is all happening very rapidly. Even with the edits that I usually do, this is happening back to back to back. We discovered ransacked provisions. The dream is dead. Cores are gone. We'll never feel true warmth again. 3 of our workers did not report to their shifts. They were known to be stalwart members, instigating brawls, and vocal in their hatred. Okay, I get it, my dudes. You just need to calm your pants. All right, let's go ahead. Council's in recess, so we can't do anything there. I imagine I can't even just do anything. Let's go ahead and fund them with some heat stamps. It looked like it got worse. No, it didn't. It slowly moved up. Okay, cool. We're fine there. Because I think I could probably use them, but that's fine. What are we doing here? We have 129 housing. We're going to go ahead and shift some people over into the Winterhome ruins. That way it will reduce the number of housing options that we have here. Are we still hemorrhaging anything here? We're not actually hemorrhaging anything. However, it wouldn't be bad to go ahead and transfer some things just to cap them off. There we go. All right, tensions are still terrible over here. We're going to try and get things under control as quickly as we can. All right, so they're trying to vote on machine-centric shifts. Workforce requirements decrease, but squalor is marginally increased. You can see this is just getting more and more interesting. Look at all the pilgrims. Oh my word, this is just such a good screen. We're going to go ahead and vote. I'm not going to sway anything at all. We'll see if they can't get it passed on their own. I don't think they're going to get their 11 required. Nope. That's fine though, because it at least gives them the option. You know, I'm saying, hey, if you can get it passed, we'll totally do it. All right, what do we have here? Tons of iron. Like that's a crap ton of iron there. All right, so if we did safe, it would cost significantly more. But it does ensure worker safety. We do need to be careful, but I do think this is the way to go. The thing is, we have to get to this one over here and then that one there. They sit on a throne made of our blood, built off our backs. They drink ice wine and smoke cigars and laugh over appetizers. What do? We work, we toil, we break ourselves in the muck. This dude is Jesse Hyde. You are absolutely ridiculous. May they choke on their food, may they drown in their wine, may they burn together with their pathetic ideals. And may I live to see it. My dude. You just need to calm your jets, man. We're going to keep doing the set council idea. We're going to give them the option to be able to vote on stuff, but we're not going to actually let them get it done because they don't have enough support for it. All right, so the automated workforce costs a ton of heat stamps, a ton of prefabs, and a core. Plant that manufactures advanced machines that can assume control over operations in any facility. More people have died from toxic gas. Okay, I get that. So it requires actual oil. Okay, so that's not something that I could actually do at the moment. However, we could build our Boyo here. We could still expand. And then we could build our teaching hospital because it's getting catastrophic. We've managed to enforce peace in Winterhome. Sabotage will cease. Good. Districts will no longer be damaged. If the measures put in place to counteract are lifted, Winterhome will face destruction once again. And we've been facing some major wear and tear, which I think a result of all of those issues. We're going to go with another teaching hospital. Now what? Work in Winterhome. We dug too deep, we plowed forward until the gas changed and became stronger. Those who didn't get sick started seeing things. People. They went rabid with fear, lashing out at everything and nothing. Okay, we got to do this fast. Like, we got to... I think we're going to have to risk workers. Because we are getting wrecked by it. Like, we are getting wrecked. Some people died, diseases decreased. We don't want to do that. What do we got here?
Can't believe they put up watchtowers. Can't believe they attacked me. Well, you know, don't be a dick. People back home won't stand for this. I'm proud I tried to run. I'd do it again if I could. Stay here and die for a cause they don't believe in. I'd run every day. Being sent to Winterhome has radicalized some citizens. I get it. We're going to do our vote again. Liberated youth. They're not going to be able to go anywhere. Okay, I was wrong. So liberated youth has passed. I'm a bit surprised, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, but what we can start doing here is we do need to expand yet again. The question is where to, and it's gonna have to be over on this side, which means that Frostbreaking is going to really start to have to expand over here. We can definitely afford it. We're not so bad on the workforce. Really bad in New London. So we're going to work on that there. And it looks like total demand has risen here. Oh, are we out of fuel? Well, we can change that. We do need to tap into that pretty daggum quick, though. I think we have to rapid frost break. Like, we have to get there. We can get to coal in just a little bit. It's going to kill people, but that's just where we're at. All right, what we need to, again, refocus on is the fact that, well, we still need to do things while people are dying left, right, front, and center. So we need to keep exploring. Places too barren to benefit us. We need to bring in things. Ooh, there's some cores there. And then we need to just get out into the open. It looks like we've explored quite a bit, but not everything. More snow, making it certain where the land stops and the frozen ocean begins. That's okay. We need the frozen ocean over here, which could bring in a lot of good expedition things. And we are, like, consistently getting really crazy out there. Mountains, we need a source of oil or something to that effect. We're going to just try and launch a bunch of expeditions that go all the way around here. All right, we only have 2. Our work is done here. All right, we have 2 of our toxic springs all capped. Toxicity falls to notable in Winterhome, which is good. We are going to rapid frost break one more time so we can get there, and we can get there quickly. It's going to cause issues. There's going to be a lot of pissed off people, a lot of dead people. We just have to keep that there. The workers in Winterhome won't stop coughing. We schedule breaks, we cycle shifts, we haul them out. But still they gasp for air. There's nowhere to escape it. Disease from toxic fumes grows even more severe. We should only send the strongest to work. No, we need to endure. We have just a tiny bit longer. Just a tiny bit longer. And then in terms of heating, where can we go? Here we go. Geothermal plants. This is exactly what we need. Now, unfiltered, I don't know. Yeah, we're definitely not doing filtered or unfiltered. We're definitely going to do filtered. It does a little bit less steam output, but it doesn't cause disease. That's what we want. We're going to research that idea because Winterhome has the capacity there. We need to get it there. And then let's go ahead. We are going to risk it for a biscuit. And I do mean risking it. We're there. We're so close to being there, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to get this done as quickly as we can. So many people are dying, though. All right. We have our last one. Let's get it capped. All right. All toxic gas springs have been closed. Toxic gas no longer threatens Winterhome. What many once saw as a cursed, desolate land you've made inhabitable. This once cursed city will become a springboard from which we will expand. The Frostland can indeed become our home. Pilgrims' fervor weakens. You've kept pilgrims on good terms for a long time. As your relations flourish, they've gone out of their way to appease some agitated members. Good. That's great to see. All right, we need to grant them an agenda. They are going to try and pass worker-centric shifts. It's not going to work this time. But over here, we still have things we have to deal with. So it's not all easy peasy. But it is at least a little bit easier. At least now when rapid stuff happens, we aren't dead. people aren't dying. So that's a good thing. And we can do our full extensions as well now, which is also really awesome. And then continue our extensions over here with things like our teaching hospital and things like our patrol watchtower, which we may not need at this point. But disease is catastrophic, it's diminishing, and it should continue to drastically diminish. Especially if we were to build 2 teaching hospitals, we should be good. Now, materials are severely limited. We can totally expand those as well. And then we're 88% of the way there for our other people. So let's go ahead and expand this direction so we can tap into our geothermal plants. It looks like Shifting Coast has been explored and a bunch of people died as a result of it. We totally understand. Let's go ahead and pump into here. We've got a lot to do to get this place up and running well. Okay, it looks like disease is severe, but it is diminishing. So that's good. That's good to know. We should be okay. We just have to be able to tap into all the stuff we need. Extraction, what do we have? A geothermal plant. Aha. Harnesses natural heat from the geothermal springs. But this is a building that goes on top of stuff. So I assume we need to build like an extraction district first. Yep, 100 steam there. We can frost break into these cores. Of course, there's not that many of them. And that's okay. We just need to be able to work into this and not be too bad. All right. Stalker arrested, stalwarts involved, conflict in New London. Guards out apprehended a member of the stalwarts near the council hall. Caught him loitering, no good reason. We found a notebook full of timetables of pilgrims' delegates. He refuses to explain the purpose. On the last page, we have the following scribble. The dream of warmth we lost in Winterhome must be avenged. All right, we must monitor the stalwarts. Activates community action on stalwarts condemned. And now we have the Frostlanders, who also aren't happy with us. We need to have a significant population in Winterhome. Keep cold, hunger, and disease absent. Okay, I think we can do that. I think we can totally transfer a good handful of people. We need at least 1,800. Let's transfer 2,000 of them, which means we are going to need many, many more homes over here. We're going to have to wait till people actually get here. Sweet, we got Steward Little. Have negative relations with everyone at the same time. Isn't that fun? Look at that. I'm so happy we're here. I don't know why they are upset. I really don't understand. I understand why the stalwarts would be upset, but I don't know why anyone else would be rocking it. Okay, on the home front though, we have a ghost town. Settlement was inhabited until recently. The larder was emptied. Most clothing and personal items were left behind. Some bloodstains on the snow, but no bodies. Found a salvageable core beneath the hearth, earning herself extra rations. One scout did. The buildings themselves contain useful components. Take only the core, take everything. Oh, that's just, it'll take a lot more people. No, that's fine. We'll totally take that. A musk ox herd. Swear these beasts grow thicker coats every year, adapting to the frost. Supply of 90 food. Let's go ahead and bring that into Winterhome. From the sides of this abandoned workshop, wooden scaffolding and support structures believe a dreadnought was serviced here for several months. Around the workshop, they found the remains of training equipment, target, bows, rifles, and compasses, all used and repaired and used again to the point of shattering. A small graveyard stood to the side near a crude sculpture of a man covered in eels. This plinth reads, "Those who are lost, those who stay are lost, but those who move on will be found." No matter what happened here, no one's using this camp. Yeah, we'll be good. Lots of stuff to do. Several scouts went missing in this area over the years. We traced their tracks to this walled camp. We can see cages and guarded huts. Seems to be a slaving camp. If we send guards, we could deal with the slavers and rescue the prisoners. They'll feel safer. Yeah, no, totally. Oh yeah, we totally have the ability to do that. We're going to bring home 913 Frostlanders. And then 200 materials until its deposit of 201,000 is done. we're definitely going to go ahead and Skyway construction that sucker. And then we're going to pop that over into the winter home ruins because, well, they really desperately need it. All right, so what we have to do here, we have to keep cold, hunger, and disease absent. Now, as you can see, it's taking quite a bit for that to happen. What I think we may need to do, are we totally capped out on all of our extraction things? The output is 1,600 workforce. Holy Moses, that's a lot. But if we were to go here, what am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking for a fracturing pump jack. And it seems like I think we're at our max here. Okay, we are. All right, well, never mind on that front. However, we're going to pop that automated workforce here just to make sure and see that it is indeed what they're saying it is. Sweet Mary Moses? That's a lot of stuff. That's okay. Okay, we're going to rock that. That's totally fine. That provides just a ton of people. So we have 7,500 here. We're actually not concerned about people at all. What are we concerned about here? The expanded food district is empty. Okay, so we're losing a ton of food. That's what they're saying. Okay, no, that's fine. We can demolish this district. And I think they're saying the same thing here. They are saying the same thing here. So let's go ahead and demolish. Do we have any other foods? I'm not sure that we do, and that's okay. Oh, we do actually have some right here. So we're going to go with our food district here. Oops. JK. What do we got now? New Londoners grow more radical. Community leaders now openly urge New Londoners to join the Stalwarts, arguing that as part of a radical organization, they'll be better able to protect their interest. All right, they're an effective organization. We should encourage New Londoners to join, marginally improve with the Stalwarts. At least we're now on top. All right, so a lot's happened. Let's recap. Our guards stormed the camp at night, falling upon the slavers while they slept. Judging from the many gaps, the slavers weren't prepared for a committed assault. We freed a significant number of prisoners, took them to New London, each sharing horrific stories of how they were treated. Many cannot find their loved ones. Our scouts did not tell them about the disturbing pit full of bones they found near the fire, or the lack of food stores in the whole camp. We're going to go ahead and get those prefabs. All is well and good there. Can we still not do anything? Nope, we have to rebuild that station. We're going to shoot people off into these valleys to see where they can't go. Man alive, there's so many places to explore. Seal colony, once believed lost to the harsh grip of frost. Miraculous return of seals fills our scouts with wonders. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and protect it just straight up. We're okay with food right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it. A fragrant find. Okay. Atop a glacier, we found sealed crates marked with the stamp of Imperial Exploration Company. Each was tied to some sort of sail, long worn out. The scouts commander think it's possible the crates were what's dropped from airships. Okay. Tingling with anticipation, they find towels and toiletries, fragrances from a dead world they'd never smelt before. As silly as it sounds, the find might go some way to improving lives in New London or be broken down. Oh no, absolutely. That's a really, really good one. Okay, cool. So they're going to get a massive boost there. What are we going to hear? The Royal Navy. Let's go ahead and take that. Hopefully there's no repercussions from it. We have a crashed hulk. Nice. A track transport lies wedged tightly in a crevice. Rows of resigned faces visible through the windows. Oh, that's awful. The engine at the front is a shredded mess. Ash and melted steel scarring a wall of ice where it's collided. The precious cores nearly destroyed. Our scouts plan to knock the transport down to easily salvage the materials and coal. They could carefully remove and bury the bodies first so they're not crushed, but that will take more men and time. It's unfortunate, but no one will mourn. Yeah, we're just going to do it that there. That's totally fine. The warmer water beneath this thinner ice is teeming with fish. Do we really need food? Winterhome could actually use, or no, this is the dreadnoughts. Okay, let's do it. Nope. I didn't think we needed it, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that food. We're going to go here. We're going to harvest and we're going to send it to the old dreadnought. And then last but certainly not least, reverberating wreck. Scouts came into this particular wreck after hearing tapping in its hull. Descending the decks, they found no living souls, but discovered an automaton still tapping an SOS on the hull after 30 years. Scouts have named the machine the Tap Dancer. We could either cut the automaton free and send it to New London or scrap it for its cores. We're definitely going to scrap it for its core. All right, and that's pretty much all we can do for the time being. Now, a couple of things. For one, we're slowly getting, I say very, very slowly, figuring out heat here. So that's something that we can get done relatively quick. Cold is minor, but it's diminishing. We don't have a ton. Could last 20 weeks. And we're trying to get our extraction of our geothermals out. But it is quite difficult. I don't even think I can expand anywhere here. Doesn't look like it. Well, we're working on it. We can totally do our geothermal plant, which does provide almost all the steam output that we need. However, one of the things that I have found, and if you're playing this and you're struggling with trust at this point of the game, you need to build a communications hub. The proximity and trust between neighboring housing districts is increased. I have gone from being very, very not trusted to now being revered instantly overnight. And that's pretty daggum significant in my opinion. So definitely go over and work on that if that's what you feel is going to work for you guys. But it definitely has worked for me. And we are needing to keep on expanding our housing. It just depends on where. All right, so we have the carrion coil liquefactors, which is something we need to think about and figure out. I'm going to actually go ahead and build another fuel stock there, which does mean we probably need to build a fuel stock over here. Yeah, we're plus 285. Absolutely bonkers. But we build a couple of these and we'll start having just tons and tons of oil. Look at that. Look at that. 285 a day. If we could figure out how to get oil here, everything will be solved. And I actually think there is a possibility. Facility uses accelerated decomposition to synthesize oil from a mix of coal and organic waste. Oh, no. That's not what we need, actually. We need to figure out how to get these boyos onto a good... we need to figure out how to convert this thing. And I don't know if we can. We might be able to, but I'm not too sure. Regardless, 103 weeks is okay there. We have 263, which means an industrial district can totally go in. And we'll start working on those productive goods. We're just waiting, slowly waiting for the heat to be diminished here. And we'll see what happens next. Good Lord. Casey Lauren. Get yourself together. We must do it. We must. If a crop is diseased, you burn the offending plants. If the scout has frostbite, you cut off the limb. If a faction no longer serves the people, feeds them to Winterhome for a delusional cause, rips their future from their hands, well, what do we do? Exactly. We get rid of the people who destroyed our future. Whew. It's still toasty here. Oh my word. Chapter 5, A Dream of Utopia. Assassination in the council. Steward, one of the stalwarts, has stabbed a speaker of pilgrims to death. At the exact moment, bands of stalwarts storm several districts. New London is on the brink of chaos. Pilgrims are furious and terrified. These terrorists have no place in New London. They must either leave or cease to be stalwarts. They get ready to fight back. Banishing the stalwarts would punish this crime and unify New London under the ideals of pilgrims. You could try to stop the madness and seek reconciliation. You would, however, have to ensure concessions from both sides. This is not the only way through. Many in the city could rally behind you. You could retake the captain's lost authority, separate the bickering factions, and enforce order. So they have to find a new home, convince them to abandon their identity, seek reconciliation, decrease the faction's fervor, and reach positive relations in all communities to vote on peace accords or enforce order. As much as I want power, I'm not going to lie, I think reconciliation is where it's going to happen. There is a supermajority unwilling to vote for peace. This path will be very difficult. All right, you've chosen to unify. If you succeed, you'll need strong relations to vote, strengthening your rule, and guard squads to contain bickering factions. I think everything will be difficult. However, you've chosen to banish the violence inciting faction. To succeed, you'll need to relocate its members to a new colony. If you invest in construction, they will leave amicably. If you do not, you will have to rely on your guards to deport them. The choice is binding. If you confirm, you must succeed, or your rule will end. Oof. Oof. Here's the thing, if I relocate them, I lose all of those people, and that's a ton of people that we need. Unfortunately, I have to choose now. We're going to seek reconciliation. Peace will come when the overwhelming majority of delegates vote to pass peace accords. Yet no one will agree to even hold such a vote until all sides renounce violence. You must negotiate with both factions to find what concessions is required. Take care not to alienate any group. You'll need the votes of all to pass the final accords. Holy Moses. All right. All right, we are in a massive state of potential civil war. Tension is catastrophic, and we are going to have to figure out anything and everything that we can do in order to survive. Hello, everybody. This is Havoc, and welcome back to Frostpunk 2 with our last episode. Now, I want to say a couple of things. First, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you're going to enjoy this episode. It is going to look a little different than the standard. If you want to support the channel, you can totally do so by giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, leaving your comments in the comment section down below. But also, we're going to treat this one a little bit differently because, well, I've already beat the game. Now, in professional YouTuber style, I beat the game and OBS wasn't running. So what we're going to do today is we are going to treat this more like a guide. Title will reflect as such, hopefully the thumbnail will, but it also will tie into the last part of this chapter. So huge spoilers ahead, by the way, because we are going to complete the end of the game. We're going to complete this chapter, and I'm going to kind of give you a step-by-step instruction into how to accomplish this. So that's kind of the goal. Again, a little more of an informal guide than a professional one, but it is what it is. So one of the things we are about to do is we are about to try the path of reconciliation. And I will say this right now. One, the game is going to have some of the most epic music you're going to experience in the whole thing. But two, we are going to experience an extreme amount of difficulty. So I can give you a little bit of context here. We are rocking a ton of oil. We're rocking a ton of food. Our material supplies aren't great. We are going to need to adjust that. Good supplies are okay. Not that we don't have to do anything in these two things here, but there is a little bit of optimization that we are going to take advantage of. So what we're going to start out with is, for one, we are going to see if we can't get a rule passed right here. We are going to, oh, we can't. It doesn't look like we would be able to, even if we negotiated it for the Frostlanders, let's say for that, we still wouldn't be able to get enough to pass because these laws do require a majority. So we're not going to worry about that. And instead, what we're going to focus on are the super optimal things you have to do. And there is a lot of optimization that you have to have in order to pass this. So what we are going to do, we're going to head over to the old dreadnought. We're going to stop siphoning so much here. We're going to make sure they have just enough what they need. And we are going to go ahead and pump into here because we are going to experience a very intense degree of material loss here. That's just what's going to happen in this. So we can transfer those materials. Let's go ahead and do that just so they're in the positive. And then the same thing for over here. In fact, so much so, we could go ahead and start siphoning for them right like that, and we'll be good there. We can totally pump in 10K just to help out there. No worries there. Transfer supplies. That way we are good. We're going to go over into our old dreadnought, and I will have a couple of expansion things that I can do, and all of this will make sense once I get to it. But one of the things you'll notice is that in this dense housing district, I can expand it. We are going to expand that, and I can expand here. Now, again, this won't be what everyone can do, so I don't expect exact steps. But what we're going to do is once those have expanded, we are going to get a couple of research hubs. Here we go, research institutes, and we're going to put them in here and then counter this as well. The reason being, we need to be able to research things extremely quick in order to succeed in this next part. So we want to go ahead and prepare for that. Over here in Winterhome, there are a couple things I think we could expand on. Yes, we could expand our housing districts, and that's something that we definitely want to do
because it will allow us a little bit of wiggle room in everything that we need to have going on. Now, New London is where the intensity comes. You are going to need a ton of guard squads in order for this to work. So we need to have as many guard squads as possible. And I do believe that means, for me, expanding a little bit so my new housing districts can thrive. But I'm talking, you are going to want to have this already researched and already up and running before even this point. So just kind of be aware of your situation. So what we're going to do, we are actually going to remove any subsidized housing blocks that we have. Teaching hospitals are probably necessary, but we are going to go overboard obsessive on all of this. So let's take over the Moss filtration post we really do need. It's the subsidized housing blocks that I really don't need at this moment, because we will go ahead and build a couple of housing districts. Can I even fill this one out? Sweet, I can. And I can over here as well. So we are going to counter that a little bit. But basically what I need to do is I do need to make as many guards houses as possible. And this is exactly why. So what you're going to see happening is that up to 6 districts at a time will start rioting and having a lot of violence. And what we need to do, you can see here, boiling tensions. We have to reduce the tension. It's at catastrophic right now, and we'll do that pretty quickly and easily. We have to have all of those things in motion though. So for instance here, what we can do, we're going to say, hey, we're going to protect, which is going to bring this up, a district protection priorities. Basically, what do we want to do? We want to stop the destruction, or do we want to save lives? Stopping the destruction will be less guard squads, will reduce the tear or the wear and tear of the buildings, so anything extra that you have, the hubs, etc., but it won't protect lives. You need to save lives because your relationship with all the factions will largely depend on how many people have died during this Civil War period. So we definitely want to protect lives. But again, that means we don't have a lot of guards in the moment. There we go. High fervor means higher casualties. If one faction's decimated, the Civil War ends. Okay, we're going to pause here, and we need to build all of our patrol watchtowers. So we are going to build several of them, all that we can. Sweet, and we're going to have even more. Now we're going to immediately switch over to all stalwarts. The stalwarts, I feel like, are less fervorous, and we'll be able to handle them better. So we're going to negotiate their peace agreement first. And as usual, with this chapter scenario, you get 3 different options that you can choose. We can do resource abundance, which means we could pass city development, we can research pyrolytic charcoal plant, and research synthetic composites factory. We could do a personal responsibility. We can research unproductive due maintenance, privatized alcohol production, or merit-based housing. By the way, you do have to pass these as well as research. That's what they don't tell you. We could construct 3 teaching hospitals and then research experimental treatment or pharmaceutical testing. So it's basically whatever we feel like we can accomplish here. Now, the cool thing about this is that a teaching hospital would not require in New London. We could do that outside of New London. So in this instance, we would only need to research and pass experimental treatment and then do 3 teaching hospitals. But what I want to do here is I want to go with personal responsibility, because unproductive due maintenance will simply offset some of the issues we're going to have with our materials. But privatized alcohol raises trust, or merit-based housing even, which means shelter is slightly increased and heat stamps income is also. So we're going to go with personal responsibility. We're going to go with alcohol production, and we're going to go with merit-based housing, which means I now have research that has to get done, which is why we want a fast researching facility. So we're going to go over here to housing distribution. We're going to go with merit-based housing. We're going to research that real quick. And we're going to come over here, as mentioned before, we're going to build our research institutes. And we can expand them again, which means if you really, really wanted to, you could go in. Oh, this already has to. It sure does. And you could expand it even further if you wanted to, which is definitely what I think we will end up doing. Because again, I want this to pass stupidly fast.
And then we can come over here and we can also build a research institute just again so we can build things crazy, ridiculously fast. And then what we need to make sure we're doing, all of those guards towers are about to construct. And now we've managed to decrease tensions, which is exactly what needed to happen. And we can go into these other districts and we can start protecting the people. And as you can see, a massive number. We are going to have up to 6 districts. So right now we have 4. So that means we need, what, 48, correct? So we aren't done expanding. And so that's one of the things that, again, we just have to be super mindful of. And we can build and construct very quickly. Sweet. Okay, we've got our guards towers going. Merit-based housing is going to work. So we are going to negotiate on that front. We are going to negotiate with the Frostlanders. And we are going to say, hey, we will, these are all, that's fine. We'll go with a bio-waste hothouse, advanced bio-waste hothouse. We'll go with a waste repurposing facility. They're going to vote for it. It's going to get voted into law right off the bat. No questions about it. Sweet. And then we are going to have to work just a little bit. We are going to have to go into, what is it? We're going to have to go into work compensation before we can get into the final stage of what we need for the privatization of alcohol. And then we also need to research waste repurposing facility, which we're going to do that first, actually, because we do need to have that compensation. We need to be able to prove that we are definitely worthy of doing that. And then what's going to happen is every once in a while, ooh, okay, stalwarts take hostages. Stalwarts stormed a new district full of pilgrims' neighborhoods, set buildings on fire, and forced them out ruthlessly before ruthlessly beating them. Pilgrims had to retreat, leaving many of their own behind. Now the pilgrims are begging for you to help them. They're not fighters. Some of them are children or elderly. We'll definitely ransom the captives. That's going to help us with their relationship with these guys. And we will be pretty stalwartly good for now. Oh, nope, we've got another district. We're definitely going to protect the people. That's the most important part in all of this, remember. And then we're also going to go with our pilgrims here. We're going to negotiate their peace agreement. And in this case, we can do adaptability, which means salvaging factories, moss filtration towers, waste repurposing factory. We're actually going to go ahead and go with that because we're already researching a waste repurposing factory. Like, that's just going to be what it is. We could do these things if we wanted to, traditional families, technology, adaptability. We're going to go ahead, waste repurposing facility. And I feel like a moss filtration tower is something that can be totally done. We have the space to do it, so we might as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into our old dreadnought. I know I'm moving really fast here, but you have to move fast in this section or you'll pretty much die. It's so intense over here. It is wild. And so what we're going to do, we're going to move a few people because we do need some people over here in order to make this work. I can build 2 moss filtration things here just in this area alone. So I am going to do that. We just need the people to be able to accomplish it, which means I would be able to build and research and build a waste purposing facility and build 3 moss filtration towers, ending their agreement very quickly. Privatized alcohol will come in pretty soon behind, and I can stop worrying about so many districts being on fire and being able to work on that. You can see we're losing a lot of food, but look, our housing is almost completely taken care of, so it's not that big of a deal. You know what? Forget that. We can go ahead and build those moss filtration towers there, and we'll be right as rain. And then I can come over here, and guess what? I can build a research institute because we really, really need it. Sweet. So the Frostlanders' demands have already been met. Now that was just for the voting agreement. We now have to build a waste repurposing facility, which is going to be over here. This is the tricky part because we need to make sure that this place isn't under the riots and the Civil War. So we're going to do that. What's up with this over here? We do have severe squalor. And so what we are going to do, even though we don't need it, well, we do need it. We are going to build that waste reprocessing as soon as we can. Oh, never mind, we can't. Just kidding. We're not going to worry about it. They'll be all right. It's the last section of the game, guys. It will be okay. We need to build 2 waste processing facilities, repurposing facilities, making sure that none of those are in the riot sections. Sweet. Technological adaptability has been enacted. The pilgrims are not now as militant, which is awesome. We have completed the pilgrims section here. We're good there. We now have to research privatized alcohol, which means we do have to research efficiency bonuses. And is there anything that I need to pass here? I don't think there is at the moment. So what we need to then work on is our relationship with the Frostlanders and the Pilgrims. And the reason why is that the Frostlanders are still the largest faction. And this is going to be something we need to look into immediately while we're still ahead, quote unquote. So they'll seek to pass community service and expedition support. So what we need to do is we need to find those, and we need to do that. So by getting expedition support, we'll be able to vote for that. Let's go ahead and vote. We shouldn't need anyone to negotiate with, and it passed. All right, so again, the whole purpose is to make these guys literally as happy as they can. We're going to fund those. We're going to make sure that they are on our side completely and totally. Everything is still going according to plan. We just got to wait a little bit longer. All right, charge humanity. Steward the Civil War is taking a turn for the worse. As it spread yet another district, a radical cell of stalwarts set fire to a pub where pilgrims were known to gather. Oh, they forced all 67 people inside to perish in the flames. We don't have enough to hunt down the perpetrators. Oh, that kills me because that's a really important one to have. And we now have 7 districts. This wasn't anticipated. Normally I have enough, and I don't this time, which really sucks because that is going to cause the trust to fall just a little bit in all the wrong areas. We'll be able to conquer it in just a minute. But yeah, even having those people there absolutely kills me because it means that we're not going to be able to have that function. I should have had even more people out here, and that's on me. But it also looks like I actually can't even expand anymore. So I'm really in like the biggest of pickles in the worst of ways at the worst of times. But hopefully this will help. Okay, now we can go over here, protect the people. All 7 districts are ready to rumble in the jungle. And we can vote on the city for privatized alcohol. A lot of people are against it. Once again, we're going to get the Frostlanders in here. They are our biggest thing here. A waste repurposing facility. Absolutely, the vote will pass. And it passes with flying colors. Awesome. Okay, so technically, everyone's good to go. There we go. We will find a permanent solution, and we got to find it quickly. So one of the things we need to do is we need to repair everything. And we also need to remember to build our waste repurposing facility, which the game does a decent job of letting you know, hey, you promised you would do this, so you're going to do that. And then what we need to do, we need a salvaging factory to compensate for all of this at the time. Sweet. Okay. We are out of heat stamps. I think that's what we are saying here. Yep, heat stamps are out. Okay, we're building our waste facility. Our relation with the Frostlanders, but you can see, has already been deteriorated. And even if we were to vote right now, it wouldn't work. So what we are going to do, we're going to see what they need. Okay, they still want weather-adjusted shifts. So that's probably what we're going to do if we make them a promise. Here we go. Promise to research weather-adjusted shifts. And that's going to let me know, hey, it's over in resources. Ah, the worker shifts. I see that there. We're going to research that idea. And we're definitely going to do everything we can to make sure it passes, because that's what we need. We don't need this food district anymore. Be a little more optimal there. And then we need to increase all the things here. So let's go ahead and destroy this. We need to build a deep-seated drill in order for that to work. Everything's good on that front. We can't do anything there. But what we can do in these districts is we can build a bio-waste hothouse. And again, we're working on heat stamps as much as possible to compensate. Sweet, we've already met that demand, so we're getting them well and prepared. So we will need to pass worker weather-centric shifts. Well, let's see where we're at for the rule just in case. We almost have enough. We need 67 in order to make this work. So we would get 74 if everyone got there. We're almost there. So what we need to do instead, we will pass weather-adjusted shifts. Again, we're going to negotiate with the Frostlanders because that's the easiest and most fantastic way to do it. we are going to build a carrion coal liquefier or Vanguard. We'll do a Vanguard logistics bay. That'll be pretty easy enough. Once again, it's going to pass. There we go. Now we need to build a Vanguard logistics bay, which requires 600 people. We currently don't have that. However, I think they have 714. They have 1,100. Let's go ahead and shift some people to New London. There you go. Relocate. Sweet. People are there. Let's get it to it. A Vanguard's logistic bay should be a simple thing to build. It is awesome. This may be enough to make things work. Let's check it. Ah, yes, it is going to work. So we now have only 31 hesitant, and we can see that those hesitant people, 15 of those are Frostlanders, which means if we guaranteed all of the Frostlanders, we would actually be able to win this thing. So let's go ahead. We're going to negotiate once again with the Frostlanders, and we're going to construct a carrion coal liquefactor. That should get us our 67 for sure that we need. Let's try and get it done. Come on, 67. Heck yes. All right. Woo. We have peace for now. We've secured an end to the Civil War. The warring factions have agreed to put aside their grievances and settle their disputes. This peace will last as long as we keep working for it. We thought it impossible. That which spawned from condemnation could only produce conflict. To take two groups fundamentally opposed to each other at its core and bring them together, we've never been so happy to be wrong. We can only hope that this peace will last long enough to rebuild the city. Tonight we celebrate, tomorrow we get back to work. Well done, Steward. Against all odds, you have succeeded. The city stands. So the city did not fail. In the darkest hour, you strive for peace. Hope persists. A flicker in the wind. This is actually a really cool part of the video, of the game. Maybe you wanted everyone to get along. I supported the stalwarts in their vision of the future, then took it away from them. Maybe you tried your very best. We only quarantined 1,100 people, 953 children apprenticed to their kin. Maybe you always looked for a middle path. We settled Winterhome. Something had to be done. Maybe you never gave up even at the brink. We only lost 570 people in the Civil War and only 7 districts got damaged. The peace vote passes, 70 in your favor. Hostilities now cease, and New London finds peace. For now. Even so, Lily May, who's 14, a bookbinder, she learned the new trade. Her mother was lost in the Civil War. Lily May was the first child, remember. She reveres the stewards for keeping the city together, and even as life is harsh, her head is full of dreams. This is the child that was born at the beginning, which is a super cool tie-in. I absolutely love it. The path to peace is narrow. And as long as we roam this still cold world, it has no end.
And that's the end of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial / end of the Let's Play series, because I really enjoyed everything about it. Again, if you want to support this channel in the video itself, you can do so by giving the video a like. By subbing to this channel, leaving your comments in the comments section, though, is one of the best ways, along with liking that video and sharing it to all your friends and family, of course. Thank you so much once again for hanging out with me with Frostpunk 2. This is a great game. I have my thoughts on it. Maybe I'll make another video on those thoughts. We'll have to see. But for now, this is Havoc, and I'll see you in the next one.